Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. My internet is going slow, so it didn't show me we were live yet. My name is Lewis Lee from Plan and Traffic, and this is where we talk about everything to do with cars, boats, anything you put gas in. We got the fellas on tonight, and we are talking about any builds that you might be doing in your garage or your shop. Let us know in the chat what you're working on, or throw some pictures in, and we'll talk about it. What's up, guys?
Hey guys, what's shaking?
Hello.
Another day in the big city.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man,
you got that right.
Spilled my ice cream.
So we got Tyler in the house tonight. He's moving forward on a monster logo he put together for his school bus, or not school bus, his charter adventure.
Yeah, don't you insult me and call it a school bus.
Yeah.
Big difference between a schoolie and a charter bus.
Yeah, snobby charter bus guy.
Yeah. We're higher class and we know it.
I'll tell you what, that thing rides like a Cadillac, man. I couldn't believe it.
Yep, rides like a cloud going down the road.
Yeah,
Full air ride on those things.
Yeah, full air ride, and the air to the driver's seat was actually shut off, and
yeah,
I don't
still
know.
real good.
Lewis spent almost 4 hours behind the wheel, and I was about 3 hours, and no worse than my pickup truck or my car.
Yeah, no fatigue. I mean, it was just like floating.
Yep. So once I get the air restored to the seat and get the air ride under the seat fixed, it'll be even nicer.
Yep.
Why was it turned off? You think it was leaking?
Probably. From my days when I was working on semis all the time, that was pretty common. Is the especially if it has like switches and stuff to adjust the height and all that stuff. Usually what will happen is one of those switches will start leaking, and the quick fix is to just pinch off the airline going to the seat. Typically that's a make it back to the home yard kind of fix, but apparently they just left it pinched off on this one. So
yeah, had to buy 2 packs of Camels and blow through the line to find where it's leaking from, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the old days. The Audis had vacuum door locks, and one wouldn't work or whatever. So that was before smoke machines like we sell today. So you grab a pack of cigarettes and blow through the vacuum line, and all of a sudden you'll find where the smoke is, and that's where the leak was. Instead of tearing the whole car apart trying to find. So
that's pretty neat.
Hey Ray, what's up?
Good idea.
Hey fellas, all right. I got a guest with me tonight.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh,
Looks like trouble.
Tyler, this is Jeremy, everybody.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hello. Jeremy, what's up?
Welcome to the humble abode.
Hello.
You got to get closer together. You got half a face of each one.
I know we're playing with the cameras. I got a camera made for one here.
yeah, you need the wide angle lens like I have.
I don't have that. Tyler, I'm going to call you back, but I've been literally just got my internet back. And that's why Jeremy's here, because he's the internet guru. So we installed a mesh network on Sunday, and then I had trouble during the week. And, of course, I played with it and really botched it up.
Yeah.
So I called in the expert. Brian, Jeremy knows all about you.
Oh, yeah? I hope it's all good. Don't believe him.
Yeah. So I want Jeremy to talk about his car. He bought a new car, a year ago?
No, actually
2 years ago?
When I first started the job full time. When I first started full time, that was in January of 2019.
Tell him about your car.
So first time ever owning a Subaru. And of course, for me, it would be the STI. Mm-hmm. And that would been my dream car for a while. You see, and I didn't realize how much of a pit of money that I'd be spending into that car when it comes to modifying it.
Yeah.
So dumped so much money into that car, but I love it.
Are those all-wheel drive, the STIs?
Yeah.
This is actually
you just doubled everything.
Well, this is actually like car church. So we confess our sins here. We tell the stories. We're all friends here, so you don't have to hold anything back. Everything is.
Well,
Did he put head gaskets on it yet?
Not yet. I am expecting to because I heard wondrous stories about Subis and blowing their gaskets, blowing motors all over the place.
Direct port injection.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yes.
I'll tell you a story about the Subarus. My son used to talk a lot of trash when he was younger on a video game. So we'd play, race cars, or we'd play video games with cars in it, and I would always grab the Subaru. And he's like, "Dad, why you get that ugly car?" I'm like, "Okay, you watch, homie." And I'd put it to him every game.
That thing gets around the turns.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
Love
good.
the blue.
Yeah.
All right.
I like that wing.
Got the little chin spoiler.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah.
A little bit of
Oh,
motor
looks
work.
good under there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh
They
man,
run
you got
pretty
some
good
money
from
in
the factory.
detail work.
I'm coming out there next spring for a big car show, so I'll be looking for you. We'll run them.
So right. So it's funny because Jerry would stop at my office at work because we both work at the same place, and we talk cars, and I'm talking muscle cars and old cars, and he's talking Subarus, and I'm like, all right, we got common ground here somewhere, and it's all like green. It's all in the wallet,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have another car at home. It's an 87 Toyota Supra. So that's
yeah.
the
I like
Japanese
Supras.
muscle. And that I love. I just love I love Supras. That's always been my dream, the other dream of mine, to own and rebuild. So right now it's sitting off to the side, just waiting for the time I can spend into rebuilding it.
I told him I know a guy who does LS conversions.
That's
Yeah,
it.
there you go. cut out the floor, put a narrowed rear in there, and put an LS in the front with twin turbos.
Yeah,
buddy.
buddy.
And then rip the back half of the car off on a whole shot.
Yeah,
That's why you
What
got to narrow the rear and put rails in it, make it
right.
Yeah, and then you tie the cage into the frame and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Put a nice 6-speed manual with paddle shifters.
I was talking about, we're talking about paddle shifters for his car. Because what were we talking about? You were talking about shifting.
Yeah, I was looking for the sequential transmission for my car, and
With an air shifter.
yeah, I was looking for it, but then you mentioning, I'll just get paddle shifters.
It's kind of a natural for that car,
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's
One of
very cool.
my good friends had the Subaru or the Supra 87. That was a nice car, man. That was the car back in the day.
Yeah.
Yes, I had since I'm now 39, almost 40. I got that car when I was 25.
Yeah.
And the age of no money, I'm just spending everything I earn. That goes into that car.
Mhm.
And I did get that car. I got that car up to 550 horsepower.
Wow.
Wow.
And complete motor work, everything, coilovers, whatever you can think of. But then, I was paying more attention to the gas meter than I was to how fast I was going.
Yeah.
And I cried every time I took that car out.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I remember the day. There's a guy I don't know if he's out of Brooklyn. Vinny. He's got a Supra. Vinny T.
I don't know him. Yeah.
He's got a blue Supra drag car.
Big block
It was
Chevy.
No, I think it's a small block.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That
and
was
it was like the fastest import Supra, modified drag car for years and years.
Right.
Yeah,
And Nelson
Vinny's
just-
something.
Nelson just sold his he had a 2021, I think, the new Supra.
Right.
Yeah.
It was pretty nice, but he traded that in with 3 other cars and got the big boy Mercedes, the biggest one they make.
Wow.
Oh, the 550.
Oh, it's a monster, man.
That is, yes.
Yeah, that's a big car.
Dwayne Maddox said they were riding in it, and they were going around a bend, and he said, "I thought somebody was in the back seat because the seat started grabbing him, so it wouldn't let him lean."
Really?
Yeah, he thought somebody was in the back seat reaching around.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Yeah, it's got the active seats.
Yeah, that stuff's crazy.
That's
Wow.
ridiculous.
Good old German stuff. Something to.
Something
In
breaks.
5 years, it either becomes discontinued and can't find parts, or when it breaks, it's very expensive to fix.
Yep.
That's the only problem.
Yeah.
Just keep adding more and more crap, more and more weight, more and more wires, more and more sensors. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we building space shuttles?
Right. No, I bet that car is 5,000 pounds anyway.
Wow. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's
big,
big.
car.
I was in one of my shops today. I don't know what model, but they had a Rolls Royce in there with the V12
Phantom.
and
Yeah,
Phantom.
Phantom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, you want to talk about a tank. That thing
yeah.
was huge.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
I
they're
was
heavy
like,
too, man.
yeah, I bet, dude.
I hauled
But that
two
was
of those.
like so sexy to look at. But I was like,
Yeah,
dude,
they're
that
heavy.
car. I mean, I just, I've seen them before, but never that up close, And that's like a tank, dude. I mean, that was huge.
Yeah. They are. They're real, real big.
They don't make many of them a year either. I want to say 200
really?
a year, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't remember what year this one was. This one was 05, I think. Black with tan interior.
Nice.
It looked really nice, but man, that thing was huge. I forgot I didn't have my phone with me. I would have taken a picture of it because
They're
They're
kinda
like long as a
odd
pickup
because-
truck.
Yeah,
Huh?
and they keep a lot of the old school styling cues.
right.
But then when you look at the grill, it's got, like rectangular LED lights. It's like something don't match here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Clash of Worlds.
They're
Yeah,
like
it had
long as
like you're right because it had like square, and then it had like round driving lights on the bottom,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
it was. I was like, man, this thing it doesn't like shape wise, and
No.
the door handles on it were back to back for the front and
Suicide
back door,
doors.
like suicide doors,
suicide. Yeah.
but. I mean, they must have been like when they were together. It was like 14 inches long. You know what I'm saying? It was like really huge looking. Like I said, just kind of looked odd, but it's not every day you see one. So,
Well,
Yeah.
those cars are from the days of the chauffeur.
yeah,
Right.
Jeeves, bring
what year
around
did
the
you say it was?
car.
huh?
What year did you say it was?
I think it was a 2005.
05. The new ones now are even bigger.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this took a lot of real estate up in that shop. I mean, I was really.
They're long as a pickup truck because I had two of them on my trailer one time, and it took up a lot of space. Man, I couldn't get another car on it. I could haul 4 cars, but with those two on, that was it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They
Who
stopped
actually
production of the
buys those
Phantom in
things anymore?
2017.
Huh?
Mhm.
They stopped production of the Phantom in 2017 with a
Oh,
total of 10,327 made since 2003.
Mhm.
Wow.
Talk about limited production.
Yeah.
The new one is the Ghost, I think.
Yeah, the Ghost is a
Yeah.
little smaller. So in the 2017 model year, they only made 100 of them.
Wow.
Wow.
The lowest production year.
Surprised your wife didn't want one, John.
She don't like that shit.
No? Really?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
She likes some Mercedes Benzes, the small
All right.
ones.
Okay.
She likes C's and E's.
Yeah, the C class. Yeah.
Yeah, she
And
likes
the
C
Firebird.
class. She like
The Firebirds, right.
She's gonna like the Firebird if it ever gets done.
Right.
Yeah, slouching over there.
Dude, man, my back is screaming.
You need to go down to the 7-Eleven and pick up some day helpers and just have them all running around the house.
They don't know how to do this shit. This is specialized.
Oh, they're all professionals. Don't worry. They have a
Yeah.
backpack with all the tools, and you just tell them what needs to be done, and it's done, dude. Don't
You
worry.
know what? I watched a video because I get a lot of links from Ray, and then I always
Everybody.
watch something that comes on after that.
Yeah.
And it was some dude from, I don't know, India. What's the country where they've got those massive trucks and buses that are like way overly decorated?
Pakistan. Zia's country.
Pakis? Okay.
Most likely,
Well,
Pakistan, yeah.
it was like a dump truck, but it was all done up, gilded, the whole 9 yards. He rolled it in, and he had to replace the front leaf spring stack. And it was like 10 or 12 leaves total. Super heavy. And, you know, they do a lot of the stuff where they do it in real fast motion. And in the background, you hear everybody going, you know, sound like a bunch of mice, you know. There's this dude, he's working in the dirt, and he's got all of these ways of getting stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
And
No,
I'm like,
normal tools.
not one normal. Well, yeah, he had like an adjustable wrench,
Yeah.
you know, and a little hammer. But
Yeah.
I just, it's like an accident scene. It's like walking up on an accident scene. You can't tune out. You have to watch this guy working with nothing in the dirt, getting it done.
Flip flops.
Yeah, in flip flops.
The guy I told you about at work,
Unbelievable.
Pakistani kid at work, he's very proud of the fact that his father and uncle, who own trucks in Pakistan, he said they repair them, and they're on sand. They're in a desert.
Yeah.
So he showed me pictures once, and they would literally stack like hunks of wood in a can, and then jack the truck up and lay it on that stuff, and then get under it. Like, you guys are freaking nuts.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. They jacked up the truck with these funky jack stands that he had laying around, stuff that's stick welded. You know, they got the bolts out, the eye bolts, they got them out, and then they had this little cart that they made out of scrap steel with a couple of like supermarket casters. They got the spring out and they wheeled it over to their little work area, and he's sitting on a railroad tie outside, and he takes the whole stack completely apart. He rebuilt it. He greased between every leaf, put that whole thing back together again. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
You
I watched that
can't
video.
not watch that stuff.
That was camel grease, by the way.
And then they go for a ride, and they're like hanging. The truck is like hanging off half of a cliff. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, if you only knew, like, did they even bleed the brakes when they got done or something? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and you want to drive this across whatever minefield or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Those are just unbelievable. You know, you got to say good for them. You're getting it done.
I watched a video not too long ago, similar section of the world, and it was he was rebuilding an alternator, rewinding it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, it's incredible what
crazy stuff
people get done.
I'm happy to entertain you, John. It's always my pleasure.
Thank you very much. You know, let me tell you something. Not to go on a different subject, that guy that played the theme to the Flintstones.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was so intricate. I had no idea.
Right?
Yeah. You know, the audio over the years loses a lot of its quality, and you just kind of hear the tune. You had no idea about how many ghost notes and how quickly he was playing the ride.
It's like
that
the
dude
Jetsons
was kicking it.
Yeah.
I bet you the Jetsons is the same thing.
Well, you look back; it was all orchestration. Those were like Nelson Riddle did a lot of stuff. That's how I got turned on to Nelson Riddle, was from Batman.
Yep.
You know, I love the Nelson Riddle Orchestra. Those guys are kicking.
Unbelievable.
So the curb weight on that Rolls-Royce Phantom is 5,600 pounds.
Yeah, wow.
There you go. That's a pickup truck weight.
Yeah.
You know,
the
funny part was they had the window down halfway, and I opened the door, and the door was like a vault door. I mean, it was like a foot and a half thick.
There's umbrellas in the door.
Yeah, there was an umbrella in there. That's why I opened it, because I was like, man, what if this is true? And I opened it, I was like, no shit, look at that. But the glass had to be over 2 inches. I mean, the glass was so thick. It was incredible, man.
I'll tell you that 62 Lincoln that's over at the UD that my buddy from work is thinking about buying, a convertible. I opened and closed. Those are suicide doors. Those doors close. They got to be like a foot thick, and they close so effortlessly and perfect. It's like coach work. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
We got a
Terry,
celebrity
what's
in the
up?
house.
There's coach work.
Yeah.
What up, T?
Terry.
What's happening, everyone?
Hey Terry, I want to know. Can I get like an 8x10 autograph from you? I mean, a headshot autograph. Can you send?
No.
I mean, I'm serious.
Dude,
I mean, I got this
I'll tell you
little
what.
I got this little bug problem, and maybe you could scare him off. But I mean, like, you know, could you sign something out for me, man? Come on. I thought we were brothers.
Hey, Keith.
There's always one.
I tell
Hey
you
guys,
what, when we went to New Jersey, I didn't realize I was going to be crashing in the house of a former or a future celebrity. So
Yeah,
I
what
should
you're
have
talking about.
gone around and done like an episode of Cribs.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
No.
You should have gotten that $10,000 shot of him walking around in his boxers dunking Oreos. That's what
We
you
should
should
do
have
that right now. We can do that right now.
See that on the National Enquirer on the stands.
Okay, I was listening a little bit. First of all, I like the Toyota Supra, but I was more a fan of the 84, 85 body style. Because you have that new body style, which I think came in either 86 or either 87 was the first year. I think 86 was the first year.
I believe it was actually, yeah.
Or either 87. I'm not sure. It's like a transition year. But that body style before, not the Celica, but the Supra of like
Right.
85, that was the one I had to almost have that car. And I would love to get
And,
my hands on one now.
and being a YouTube phenom, you need to know. Go and check Steve Magnante. He just did a junkyard crawl with that car, and he showed the difference between the Celica, which was had the 4-cylinder in it, but from the firewall back was the same as the Supra. He did stuff I learned from watching that video was amazing. Like,
Because if I remember correctly, the Celica had the light that popped up like that, where the Supra had the lights that went up like this. There you go.
That's the.
Oh, it's cool. It's got a Targa roof. Too.
That's nice. Yeah, you got a Targa. Yeah, they had a Targa roof back
Is
then.
that
Yeah,
purple?
Nice.
It's maroon.
that's pretty.
Maroon.
Kind of
That's
looks
pretty.
warm.
And see, a lot of people don't know, but I had a suicide door Lincoln. I had a 63.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the guys at work. It was his grandmother's car, originally his grandmother's car. She bought it back in 63, and it had a plaque, and it had her name on it. They used to give you like a little name on that plaque, like right there on the dashboard.
Nice.
And the car hadn't ran since, I would say, 87. And this is like maybe, it's not too long ago. This is like maybe 5-6 years ago. And I got the car, I got it running, and I sold it. There was, you know what it is? I like the idea of having that car,
Yeah.
but the reality of that car, it's long, it's big. You can't find parts for it really. And you know, like I
lot of room.
I was like, oh man, I'm gonna put some 20s on this thing, 24s, whatever, you know. And you know, I got that 429 working, but it was a big car.
Those big old cars are begging for like a diesel swap.
And you know, the thing is that this was in pretty decent shape, and there was no love for that car. You know what I'm saying? I was like, let me sell this car and give it to someone who's going to really like this car. If this was a Chevelle for me,
Right.
so
An
it had to
enthusiast.
go. It was someone whose dream was to have this suicide door car. Mine wasn't. I mean, my dream was, you know, once I found out, oh, you got a suicide door Lincoln, then I started thinking about the possibilities. But no,
Mm-hmm.
it was a
Yeah,
hard time.
Tyler, have you seen that black Chevelle down at the shop in Girard? Just before you get to the
Piggly
bike
Wiggly.
shop on the left.
The Piggly Wiggly.
The Piggly Wiggly.
Right on 422.
Yeah.
Not a Chevelle, no. That's my buddy Michael's shop.
I see this. Explorers.
Okay. There's a Nova there, a blue Nova and a black Chevelle, but the Chevelle is really clean, man. Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know whose
As
it
they
is.
should be.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yep. It almost
God.
looked factory.
I might be meeting your buddy,
Who?
Cletus.
All right. I was
I
just
might be
watching a
meeting him,
video that he put out. He's driving a
Yeah.
truck in California. One of them
Yeah, he's a
jumper
good-
jobbies.
Yeah, he's the Freedom Factory.
Yep.
Not the one that's going to be in Indianapolis, but the one that's going to be in Bristol in September.
Right.
I'm supposed to be doing the Burnout Pit for Vice Grip Garage. He asked me if
There
I
you
wouldn't
go.
mind He says we'll get some red, white, and blue tires and we'll smoke them up. He says kill the car. So that car's not leaving first gear, and I'm just gonna be.
So the vice grip dude, does he talk like that, like on the video all the time?
Let me tell you something about Derek. He is the coolest guy. He is like, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
I mean, he does the whole sparkulator things for the videos and everything like that. But he's a very smart guy, we had fun, man. But see, what I knew him, how did I meet Derek? That whole Hemmings deal, and I met him through that. And this is when he had like maybe 300,000 subscribers and all that. And then, every now and then we talk, like text each other. Hey, what's up, Terry? What's up, Derek? What's up? Whatever. So we go back and forth. And then the first time I actually saw him was at last year's PRI. He was just standing there, but he was getting pulled. So we were talking for a little bit, and he says, there's going to be a project, Terry, and I want you in on it with the LS project. I was like, let me know. I'm good. And so he was like, we're going to get a couple other YouTubers and all that. I was like, that's a pretty damn good idea. And so that's how we got it going.
Yeah.
And
I watch him, and like I said, I wondered if he talked like that in normal.
He just the only thing that he changes is, like, I would say the whole sparkulator thing and all that. But when we were there and the cameras were off, he was still doing that. So I would say 95% was that,
Yeah.
He may not have been doing as much as he does on the videos and all that, but he's a character, man. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
And he gave me butterscotch moonshine.
Oh yeah. Butterscotch, smooth baby.
Man, was that good. I'm not a drinker because first he was like, yo, Trevor, you want to try this? I was like, what is this? Is it white lightning? I was like, I don't drink, man. And he goes, try it. It's butterscotch. I was like, ooh. So took a sip. Next thing I know, I'm 6 sips in, chest getting all hot. But it was smooth. And next day, I was like, let me stop. I was like, let me stop. Go take this away. But the next day I went looking for it after I had lunch. I was like, yo, Derek, where's that in the freezer? I was like, the freezer? And I didn't know that liquor doesn't freeze.
It don't freeze.
But it got real full. And it was fabulous.
Yeah. So that means 3 to 6 months now. There might be some interesting photographs of you.
You gotta wait. You might. I think tomorrow the second episode's coming out, so you may see it in there.
The last time I had a little bit of Granddad's cough syrup, I woke up in the hallway with a dog licking my face, and I don't remember much.
Oh boy.
I'm just glad that the truck was still in the front yard. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, lucky you woke up at home.
Yeah. And I had a whole bunch of random text numbers in my phone that, people were like, dude, you all right? And I'm like, yeah. So
no more cough.
Better watch it, Terry. You might need to be supervised or chaperone. I understand you could get in trouble.
I don't know what you're talking about. No. Now I'm back in New York, so I'm not gonna be,
back in New York.
Can't drink. No, I'm not a drinker.
That is a different backdrop than you usually have. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yes, right. Yeah.
What's going on, Keith?
I'm all lush.
Not much, man. What's happening? Just same old painting.
Yeah.
I got a deal going on for SEMA, so I'm all excited about that.
Okay.
So have a piece out there.
So what you're saying is you're going with us.
I would love to go. My wife's in Florida, so yeah, I might go. Trade off, she goes to Florida, I'll go to Vegas.
Yeah.
But if I'm not there, my artwork will be there.
We're gonna get our Ray out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ray. We gotta get you out there. We're gonna swing by and grab you in Tyler's bus.
Yeah.
The goal is to be living in it by then, so we'll see.
The only problem is, I've been telling my wife about it for years, and I told her how John does it, and that's how she wants to do it. I was like, well, then you
wants
gotta
to
go
go?
with John and his wife.
There you go.
There
I'm
you go.
telling you, man. Come out. You'll have a good time. We'll take you to some shows. Earth, Wind, and Fire is playing at the Venetian.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
that'd be a good
I saw
one.
them one
That's
time
good.
before. They awesome, man.
They're going to be there. They're going to be there before SEMA and all during and after SEMA. They're going
Now,
to
wait
be
a
at the
minute.
Venetian.
It was just didn't one of the trumpet players or sax players for Earth, Wind, and Fire just passed away last
Yeah,
year?
Andrew Wolfel.
Wolf. Wait, Wolf.
Yeah, one of them did.
Yeah.
Wolfel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the saxophone player. He was like one of the original saxophone players.
Right.
Actually, he wasn't the original. You know who was the original saxophone player for Earth, Wind, and Fire? I'm gonna say Ronnie Laws.
Okay.
I think Ronnie Laws was the original, and then he went on his own, or Hubert, Ronnie or Hubert, one of them, and he went on his own, and they got him, and that was that whole transition when they went from the original names of Earth, Wind, and Fire was Salty Peppers to Earth, Wind, and Fire. They got rid of all those jazz guys and got these young group of people.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I know this.
I got the Venetian email newsletter today on events, and Earth, Wind, and Fire is playing.
That's gonna be nice.
Nice.
I'm telling you,
Well,
you
Ray,
need to come out.
Yeah,
You
Ray,
would
do yourself
love
a
the
favor.
you would love the Venetian. Your wife would think it was amazing.
Well, before you do that, Ray, do yourself a favor. Don't be like Ralph Cramden and just go and invite the wife when she had already made up the mind that you can go. You know, make sure you just ask her, say, hey, would you be, I'm going to go to SEMA. And if she says, oh, great, we can go. Or she goes, no, go ahead and have fun. Then you don't have to worry about it.
She'll
That's
want
how
to
it
go.
works.
Don't do a
It
Ralph
is
Cramden.
amazing.
She'll
It is
wanna
amazing.
go. Yeah.
I'm gonna
You're
try.
gonna enjoy it,
Dad
right, man?
go.
I'll tell you.
Oh,
Bring
yeah.
your wife. It is fun no matter what.
I don't see how you couldn't.
No.
There's so much to do there.
And now I haven't even seen the new complex that they put up. I mean, they were building it last time I was there, so I can only imagine that thing's going to be packed.
I want to go out in the desert and shoot machine guns.
Yep, they got
You
that.
can do that. Yep.
You can
They
come to
got
my house.
everything.
I mean, not my house, but
Everybody
I know
in
a guy.
Ohio's got machine guns.
I know a guy.
I know
I mean,
a
I
guy.
hear him shooting in this neighborhood behind the shop all the time. So
Really. I just watched that video with Dragon Man Mel Bernstein. He converted his Glocks fully auto pistols. Jesus.
The only thing is, it's so expensive to shoot. It's no
Yeah.
fun after you shoot it.
Right.
yeah,
It's true.
everything's real expensive now.
Yeah.
No shit.
Thank
Life
you,
as we
Joe.
know it.
Friday, I was coming home and it was about 7:45, and I'm coming home and all I want to do is get home and eat dinner, And I'm driving down the road in the tool truck, minding my own business, and the little gas light comes on. Bing.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, God, I just want to get home, my man. So I go to the gas station. I go by the gas station, and it's $4.38 a gallon
For diesel?
for diesel.
That's cheap.
Cheap.
Wait a minute. This was Friday.
It's more than that here.
Okay. So
You
Friday,
didn't get fuel.
I finally get home. I get home. We eat. I start my weekend thing. Don't pay no attention to anything other than getting my stuff done. I get all my banking stuff done on Saturday. Deposit this. I'm like, I need some fuel, so I keep some cash out. Monday morning, I take M to school in the tool truck. I go by the gas station to get fuel up. $6.25.
Oh,
How did this is what
And
I'm
then,
not
John,
understanding.
before you do,
How are they getting away with that?
John, before you
Right.
get on that rant, there's no.
No,
So, and I just sat there and said, I cannot believe that I did not stop and fill up when I saw it. Because I only kept out. I said, it's 438, so 450. I calculated in my head. I got the cash in my pocket. So, but did I bring enough for $6.25? No.
No.
And I'm like, that's it. I'm just beside myself every time that you turn around and it's.
But that's okay because the politicians here, the Democratic brain trust here, decided they're going to suspend the gas tax on any amount over $3. It's like, wait a minute. Now you're making it like a compound formula we got to figure out here. It's like, just suspend the freaking tax so you don't line your pockets a little more, and let's get, or better yet, do the right thing and bring the price down. Do what you got.
Yeah, we had at the beginning of this, we had no tax for 30 days, and
Right.
of course it came back, and they haven't said anything, but so literally now it's like, you see something. I mean, you see someplace, you might as well put fuel in then, because you don't know what it's going to be tomorrow. It's absolutely disgusting.
I don't understand, because the news is absolutely not saying a damn word.
No.
Okay. And usually you find out, okay, yeah, well, a refinery burned down or a big tanker sunk or something like that. And you're like, okay, they're going to jack up the price. But I'm seeing it up and down every day. And it's not changing 4 cents. It's changing 20 cents or 40 cents. And I'm like, what is driving that? And who's behind it? And then you have to say to yourself, besides the asshole in the White House just being an asshole and everybody's licking his butt, maybe it's about time that the fucking oil companies really sat down and said, what are we doing here? Because obviously they're just laughing all the way to the bank, making trillions of dollars a week. They could care less. They're going to take everything that they can get.
Yeah, and
They seem to think that they're entitled to this because during COVID, when Biden shut the whole fucking country down and nobody was buying gas at all, and now they're looking to rake back all of that profit that they didn't make. But it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Then you got problems with the stock market crashing for no reason at all. And you say to yourself, what the hell is going on? Really, what's going on, And there's no solid answers to find.
Up and down 900 points in 2 days, like that shouldn't happen.
My policy is that the people in charge don't really care what happens with the economy, because at the end of the day, they're not paying to fill up their own gas in their own tank, and they're still sitting on top of the dung heap no matter what the economy does.
They're getting theirs. Yeah, they're getting theirs.
They got theirs.
Yeah, I mean, even for chicken being through the roof, I mean, that's disgusting.
Did you hear prices. You hear about the chicken shortage because of they found E. coli or something in one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
eggs, everything.
All that stuff is crazy.
And then you start looking at all the rich people who've been buying up farmland for the last couple years,
Bill Gates,
aren't subletting it out to farmers to plant. Bill Gates is one of the top 3 or 4 farmland owners or something like that.
Water.
And then on the other page of that, we've sold all our processing things are all China owned and China bought. For they own the 3 biggest pork industry and chicken and all that stuff is all China.
They own Smithfield Pork.
Yep.
It's owned by the communist Chinese. How does that happen?
In America.
Yeah, in America. How does that happen?
Money.
You'd like to find the guy somebody on the board had to say to the members of the board, look at this deal that we got and look how much money we could make. That's the guy you need to find, and you need to stick a knife in his eye.
We don't always talk about cars on this show.
Okay, so look, Keith.
Wait till we get to the ham sandwiches.
Keith, your car came out nice.
Thank you.
Yes, very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, looking good.
So how much Granddad's cough syrup do you use to keep a straight line?
Just a cap full.
Just a cap.
Afterwards, I add to that.
Okay.
Because you got to break the shake a little bit there, Keith. You gotta,
yeah. Definitely no coffee for sure. I wait till the coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking good. Yep.
I appreciate that.
Have you thought about my project on my bus yet?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it, and I think the only way to really do that, Lewis, would be airbrushing it. And unfortunately, I have a long ways to go to airbrush. I mean, I have the. Let's see. I know what I know what I would have to do to do it to get that chrome effect, but I'm a little leery on doing it on someone else's vehicle before I do it on something of mine.
Powder blue, brown, and white.
Yeah, white. Right. I was gonna say white, a little bit of blue, ice
Powder
blue,
blue,
and the
brown, and white is what makes chrome.
I'll be the test dummy.
Oh, gee, thanks. Okay, I'll keep that because I just did some chrome. I just did a license plate.
Oh yeah, that license plate was nice.
Yeah, I did that for Corvette.
I never thought about doing that on a chrome plate. I might do that myself.
That's this guy he gave me the license plate here. Let me.
I've seen those that were pre-made.
Yeah, but I
buy those.
I never thought about painting my own. I might do. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh wow.
Right.
So I painted it to look like chrome. Look at that.
It looks three-dimensional here.
Yeah.
Well, that was the idea. So it turned out pretty good.
You painted that chrome?
Where are we at? There we go. No, I didn't paint the chrome, but
you painted it on top of the chrome.
Yeah.
Right. So I got to clear coat that next.
Yeah, those flags look like they were stuck onto the plate. They don't look like paint.
That's what I was trying to achieve, and it worked out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
that's talent that I do not have.
And I got a guitar that I'm working on too for a local band that actually they're really moving up in the country rock genre. He gave me a guitar to paint, so I'm really excited about that. And he wants me to do it in my.
What's the name of the band?
Pardon me?
What's the name of the band?
They're called Southern Outlaws.
Southern Outlaws.
Yeah, and they're pretty cool, pretty good guys, really good guys. Matter of fact, I was doing my Facebook Live from the Biker Brew House until I had some technical difficulties, and I told them out of the blue. I just saw them online. And I says, "Hey, fan of your music and everything." I says, "If you ever want a guitar pinstriped or anything like that, give me a buzz." So. That was a couple months ago. Well, the other day he says, "Hey, I want to bring my guitar down for you and have you do it." I'm like, "Okay." And he says, "I'll make sure your name gets out there." So I'm excited about that. And I got asked to do a show out the Metroplex, Lewis. They're having a big tattoo show out there. It's 3 days.
Oh, yeah?
And the lady saw my artwork at the Biker Brew House, and she's giving me a spot for nothing.
Oh, nice.
For 3 days. So I'm jumping on that.
When is it?
It's June 3rd, 4th, and 5th out the Metroplex.
All right, check my spots. I might make it up there. That'd be nice.
Yeah, so I guess they got quite a few vendors that are going to be. I guess they got 70-some tattoo artists that are going to be there. So, yeah. So they said she saw my artwork. She's like, "Oh yeah, this will sell real good." I'm like, "Good,
nice. Okay,
good,
yeah,
sweet." Hey Ray,
yo,
that email you sent had me dying.
Which one is that?
The one with the
list.
The list.
Yeah, very. And I got Lewis. I got to congratulate you. There's a better word, but I can't think of it right now. For actually keeping up with your email, because I know how that was a problem.
It was a problem for me. Yeah.
And when you replied, I'm like, "Holy shit, he did look at it."
Wait, listen. I
figured you see it in like August.
You told me you sent me something a couple weeks ago, so I went and looked in, and I put your name in, and all your emails that you sent in the last year popped up with the red thing next to it.
Right.
I'm like, oh my god, I haven't been looking at my emails.
Yeah.
I apologize.
That's all right.
But man, that email was funny, man. I was dying with the don't go to sleep. Don't take what was it? Don't take laxative and the sleep pill at the same time.
Oh yeah, don't take the laxative and the sleep. Right.
Oh boy.
Now, why didn't that? Try useful phrases such as
Alexa, stop.
He's ordering laxatives.
Yeah, she's ordered me laxative.
Get out of here.
That was the best part of that whole conversation right there.
I watched a live cast. I forget who it was. It wasn't car related. It was some, but they had like 100,000 viewers on, and it was a girl, and she said, like, Alexa, turn off Xbox, and like her chat exploded with dozens of people saying, "Oh, my boyfriend was in the next room and he was in the middle of fighting a boss and it shut off," and all this other stuff. Oh, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Right. Well, that's why I don't have those things in my house.
I don't. No way.
They're
It's bad
convenient
enough.
when they're
Your phone and your computer are listening to you.
Right.
I know,
Yeah, everything's listening all the time. So I used to be big against it, and then I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. And I got one of the Google Assistant things, and I use it at my house to control my lights and stuff. And it's actually
Google
pretty
Nest.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call the Nest. It was a Nest. Yeah.
I was that way too, and I figured they listen through my phone, so why not have the rest of the house wired up? So I got Alexa everywhere.
My Facebook page is loaded up with advertisements for back specialists and back surgeons and all of that. I'm like, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my one buddy, he didn't believe that. He's like, I have all that stuff turned off on my phone. It's not listening to me, blah, blah, blah. And I said, do you have any pets? And he goes, no, I don't. I said, all right, so let's talk about cat litter for a minute and all the different kinds of cat litter. And I said cat litter like 5 or 6 times. And he called me the next day. He's like, dude, my Facebook has been nothing but ads for Tiny Scoops cat litter all day.
Yep.
Look, next time we're going to talk about Massengill douche. All right. How's that? We'll light you up. Jeremy's turning his phone off.
What is it? A summer's day breeze or whatever.
Summer's breeze.
Yes.
Hey fellas, I'm sorry, I got to roll. I just got paged out of here. So,
all right, Keith.
You guys have a good night. Have a good weekend.
All right. See you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I will.
All right.
So I just got a new transmission for the old shop truck. Third gear's going out, and anything over like 20% throttle while it's in third gear, and the transmission just decides it wants to pretend like it's neutral for the rest of the gear.
Ooh.
And the problem is, if you don't lift your foot off the gas fast enough, and it smacks the rev limiter, it puts you in limp mode, and then it'll shift into second and stay there until you shut the truck off.
Oh God.
So, it's been an issue, like getting worse for a while, but I found one 30,000 mile used dropout from a truck, actually from your guys' neck of the woods, Ray, out there in I think it was Maryland.
That's Brian's neck of the woods.
Yeah, well,
close enough.
Yeah,
way closer than here. Yeah, it's all covered in orange clay.
Long Island.
Yeah. It's a little close.
It's always something.
Right? I picked one up and
away from each other.
so here in the near future, I'll be tearing my shop truck apart, doing the cam swap and converter and transmission and all that stuff, getting it ready to put a supercharger on it later on this year. So
nice.
I bought a Toyota 2000 Toyota Avalon.
Well, that's a bulletproof car. Yeah.
It sat for a long time. It was one of my friends. His mom passed away, so I bought it off him. And one of the brake lines are leaking.
Mm-hmm.
So I climb up under it today, and one little spot's rusty. The rest of it looks good, right? So I start to take it out, and then I get to the clips on the other side. They're rusted, and it's rusted there too. So I have to change the whole thing. But once it gets to the front and the back, you can't find where it goes. Like it goes into man. So I'm taking it to my buddies, man. Have him put it on his lift.
They put those lines in, then they put the body on the chassis.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
There's no way you can get it, rolling under it, or I can anyway, because my stomach touches the bottom of the car.
Right,
So
right.
I get stuck.
I would just cut it right where it is. I wouldn't even bother that and just run it along somewhere else.
You need bigger jack stands. Yeah, reroute it. Right, you could reroute it.
Yeah,
Sure.
do that.
Reroute it.
Sure.
Yeah, but I can't find where it's going. Like once it,
you can't even find where it terminates.
Oh, okay. That's
once it gets to one end, it's gone. It's like in a hole somewhere.
In the hole.
Well, that way, all you gotta do, Lewis, is just cut it and get some fuel line hose and some clamps and just put them on and butt it together and tighten it up, and you'll be good.
Yeah,
Hey,
make sure your life insurance is paid up on the wife and tell her to have a fun time.
Get some of those gator fittings.
I was gonna say, did you take a policy out on me and I didn't know it?
Right.
Oh, you know what? You could always upgrade to those Bluetooth brakes.
Oh,
Bluetooth brakes? Okay.
I had on the tool truck, the power steering pump runs off of the flywheel, and it has like a 10 millimeter pipe that runs along for the steering, and it ducks down in between the frame and where the clamps, it had rusted out there and it blew. So I'm sitting on the side of the road, call the auto parts store and had them deliver a line, and I was going to, change it out there on the, change it out right then and there, and I'm sitting there waiting. Well, one of my customers drive by and he stops and he's like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Oh, power steering line went," and I'm, waiting for a line. And he goes, "Oh, just put a hose on it." And I was like, "Dude, that's a lot of pressure."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, it can't be that bad." And I said, "Dude, it's a lot of pressure." So he runs down to the shop and gets a hose and comes back with a hose and clamps. And he's like, "Hey, I'll help you out." And I'm like, "Dude, it ain't going to work like that." Sure enough, I said, "Go ahead." So we get up, we start the truck up. And he goes, "Yeah, see?" And I went to go turn the steering wheel just a little bit. And that hose had gotten up about that big.
Bubbled up.
And he's like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "That's a lot of pressure, dude. that rubber hose ain't going to hold it." Because all I did was move it and then straighten it back out. And man, it swelled up to like a size of a
Did he say,
pineapple.
"Oh man, I should have brought fuel hose instead of vacuum hose"?
Well, he did bring fuel hose.
Yeah,
that was fuel hose.
I believe it. Yeah.
And I said, he goes, "Well, they have hose on power." I said, "Dude, you don't understand the PSIs on that hose.
Yeah.
There's a lot. It's just a hose ain't a hose,
No,
So
no.
Did it start making them funny noises like that cake on Little Rascals?
Yeah. So
Always something.
So just then, the parts department guy, the guy from the auto parts store came, and he goes, "I've made some weird deliveries, but I never stopped on the side of the road and delivered to the tool truck before."
Right.
And I said, "Well, I wasn't going to be able to move it, and here I am. And thank God I got all the tools in the truck to do it." And
Yeah, you had the right tools.
then I got it
That's
all
when you
done.
come across something you need and you're like, it's out of stock.
Yeah.
Flag down the Snap-on guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flag down the Snap-on truck. Be like, "Hey,
Help me out.
Yeah.
So
I
speaking of that,
tried to drive it, or I did move it without the power steering. I had blocked it off, and it took a lot of. Once you got moving, it was okay, but man, trying to move all that from a dead stop, dude, that was a hell of a workout. That was,
you have to do
You
a
could
3-point
bust
turn.
steering column U joints with that.
yeah.
So
that
speaking
was,
of that, Brian, the only other thing besides car parts and computers that gets this guy all hot and bothered are tools. Believe it or not. So I was bringing in a bunch of my tools to show him like the new stuff. He's like, where do I get that? Like, you gotta meet Brian. That's all. Gotta be
oh, he'll like my Tooltip Tuesday videos then."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Follow Tyler. I'll show you.
Yeah, they're looking good.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, I'm about to go. I'm tired.
You look
All right,
tired.
Hollywood.
Me too.
Yeah,
Hollywood, all right.
Hollywood Terry.
Yeah.
Bollywood.
Bollywood.
That's
Yeah.
We're gonna,
All
you
right,
got,
until
you
we see
got,
each other,
what's
always
your,
be
what's,
easy, fellas.
All right,
what's going
fellas.
to be your theme when you come in and out on these videos now? Like Hollywood
Shaft.
Hogan. What are you going to have your shaft?
Shaft.
That's it.
Shaft.
Yeah.
Or either Superfly. It's got to be one of the two.
Yeah, that's it.
Shaft and walk in with like a drive shaft over your
Right.
shoulder.
Right.
Exactly. And
Yeah, you gotta have that. You gotta have that drive shaft down by your leg, and when you lay your leg out, that drive shaft comes down there, boy. That's it right there.
That's what you're like, hey Terry, did you got that drive shaft? You
got that drive shaft?
You film
Yeah,
it
man,
coming
right
up
here,
the end of your
shaft.
pant leg.
That's
Exactly.
it.
This is a
Drive
bad
shaft
mother.
plug
Yeah.
That's a bad mama jamma.
Excuse me while I whip
Whip this out.
I'll whip this out.
See you, Terry.
Leave on look.
Hey, we're showing our age.
I know. It's terrible when you talk about stuff like that, and the kids look at you like, "What the heck are you talking about?"
I know.
They have no clue.
Yeah.
I always
Take
do.
care,
Like,
gentlemen.
when
All right,
it's the
Terry, take it
holidays,
easy.
Terry.
and they
Hugs
make
and
up
kisses.
make up a big thing of
Always.
baked beans. I always
Yeah.
give them the Mongo likes baked beans.
Yeah, Mongo.
Yeah.
Likes baked beans.
And the funny thing is, when you talk about something long enough, and the kids start to Google it, and they said, "You watched this, or what the hell was that?" You know, that's
Yep.
the funny part. It's like
I was
Do they
quoting.
even play Blazing Saddles at all anymore?
They do. They do.
Yeah, they
and
do.
they edit the shit out of it. As
it's
you can
it's
imagine.
so chopped up, dude. Unless you get on a movie channel.
Right.
Yeah, you got to catch it on like
it was
HBO or something.
About a year or two ago, my wife and I were like quoting Airplane, from the Airplane movie. And my younger daughter, I said, all right, after dinner, sit down. We're watching Airplane. And I said, you're gonna understand every sight gag, because she gets it. She gets all the humor. She just was getting it out of context. I said, once you see this movie, all the stuff we've been saying will make sense.
Yeah.
And she got it. So you just gotta educate them. That's all.
Yeah, it's funny. Because the what's his name? Tom Cruise movie's coming out. The
Can't
Top
wait.
Gun.
Top
Top
Gun
Gun's coming out.
A new one, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
Maverick. And the wife was like, "You going to take me?" And I was like, "No, not really." And of course, everybody was like going back and forth. And Brianna goes, "What's Top Gun?" It's like, God, how can you not?
Wow.
Oh,
So
man.
that's what the wife said. She goes, "That's it. We're gonna have a movie night. We're gonna sit down and."
And I'll tell you,
I'm looking
for a
forward
while,
to it.
at night, I'm good. When I go to sleep, I have the radio on. They were playing that song, by Berlin, "Take My Breath Away." I got to find out how they made that beginning audio track, because it's so eerily, you know the song I'm talking about. That
Sure.
"Take My Breath Away," but that backing track, I don't know how they did it. I got to look it up because it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did anything else that was popular, but Berlin was the band.
So she tells me, she goes, her friend Lori, she goes, "Well, Lori will take me." And I said, "You girls have fun." 'Cause I don't, I
I was
need
thinking
to see
about
it.
going to see it at IMAX.
Yeah, that's what they
Ooh,
want to
that'd be
do. That's what they tell you. The whole thing was shot for IMAX.
Yeah.
Brian,
Yeah.
listen, just get your bomber jacket back out, dust it off, and go ahead in.
Yeah. Hey, I got my Ray-Ban. I got the what were those?
Aviators.
Aviators.
Your
I got
Biden fans,
Yeah, but you look like Biden.
got your Biden glasses.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
I went and destroyed one of the best glasses ever.
The
Glass
sunglass-
designs
yeah,
ever.
the Aviators.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
good
the good
sell.
part is he got fun made of him.
Oh yeah, they all do.
Yeah.
What was that, John?
Obama made fun of him for that.
For the
Yeah.
glasses.
When Obama came to the White House and he was talking, Biden was standing there and he says, "I understand that the whole Secret Service detail now has to wear aviator sunglasses." And
Right.
the crowd went wild.
Better than that was at that press corps dinner where his best line was where he said, "Boy, he was like, this is the only time that I think that someone has a lower
Approval rating.
approval rating than me. The press, like, so they were saying, yeah, they should Comedy Central write all of his speeches.
Yeah.
They'd go over better.
It's ridiculous that they even have that dinner.
Wait, guys, I got to jump ship too.
All right, Lewis.
Early start tomorrow.
Yep.
I was going to tell you guys something. I forget what it was.
No
Now
hack
you're
gun.
really getting like Biden.
Yeah.
For a minute, Lewis, your internet connection was coming in pretty good, but I guess you lost it all, huh?
Yep, that's it. That's what happened. I actually told you guys twice, but you didn't hear it.
Blame it on the internet. That's it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate you. I'll see you next week.
All right,
All
Lewis.
right, Lewis, take it easy.
good night.
Be safe.
Did anybody put up anything in the chats on what they're working on? I didn't see anything.
Nope.
There's like nothing.
Nope. Our popularity is lower than ever.
Not lower than Biden.
Well, yeah, that's true. Ray, if I put up my new logo for the bus as a share, if you want to pop it up.
Let's see. Share.
Sonny and share.
First, add to stream. How about we just do?
Oh, that looks nice.
Yep. So it's got the solar panel on the top.
All right,
Yep.
solar panel.
The TIG
The
torch.
big torch.
Got
Yep.
the tour bus with the tandem axle.
The big tour bus. Yeah.
Yep. And he used a picture of my actual bus to draw that.
And then
Nice.
it's got either a gear or a clutch pack out of an automatic.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
like out of a bike. It looks like a clutch bike out of a
And then
motorcycle.
a nice
The original
TIG torch.
the original inspiration was I wanted the bus to kind of look like the space station orbiting the globe.
Oh,
And
The
problem with that was going to be the bus was going to be like way too small in proportion to the globe. So he kind of transitioned into just having it come through the center of a gear like that. And I like it. I think it works.
I like it too.
yeah, very nice.
Yep. So that'll be the branding for the bus project. And then the plan is to have, I'm going to build all my welding and tube bending and all that stuff right into the bottom of the bus. So no matter where I go, I'll have all my fabrication stuff with me.
Nice.
So I'll have to set it up off board, of course, work under a tent or something, but
Yeah,
Very good.
that's
There
cool.
there was a guy, I forget his name, for years and years and years. He was like the official welder of the NHRA. He would be at every national event and a really large number of divisional events. And he was sponsored by Miller and Strange Engineering.
oh wow.
And
Good company.
he had an F550 long flatbed. He
Yeah.
had multiple welders attached to it. He had a big air compressor, and he had like a pull-out workbench, vise, anvil, everything, big toolbox, the whole deal. And guys would crash their cars, during qualifying, and he would roll right up to their trailer, get out there, and he had fixtures, and he would be out there TIG welding and
Nice.
fixing stuff, fabricating tin panels. I mean, doing the whole deal. Forget the guy's name. It was two
guess
guys.
People took off on that because I watched the show, the robot fighting show, BattleBots. Yeah, BattleBots.
Yeah.
And what they did is now this last season, they had Haas machine set up on site. So when guys would break parts, they all have their CAD drawing, their files. They could just give it to them, and they would make them
Make them a new
right
part.
on site.
Wow.
So
Good for
that's pretty cool.
Haas.
And Haas had a lot of exposure.
Considering
Wow.
they're taking a huge hit by the guy with that sick week in the 6 seconds Camaro.
Right.
He bought supposedly state-of-the-art Haas machining center, a 5-axis machining center to make stuff. And he's had it for 2 years and has not been able to turn one part out on it.
Wow.
And, he's been making some videos basically shaming them. He did everything they said to the book. They wanted that thing on a 24-inch thick pad. He's got the pad. They wanted certain power. He's got the power. They brought the machine in. Haas came. They leveled it. They programmed it. They did everything they had to do, and it kept crashing.
Huh.
They had no repeatability. And then they suspended his payments, and supposedly he had to put 20% down and pay $23,000 a month.
Jeez.
So I don't know what that machine costs.
That's probably $1 million machine, I bet.
You know?
Or more.
They deferred his payments for 6 months, and then he started paying again, and they had more trouble, and Haas guys supposedly were there for like 5 days. There was no repeatability. They had to keep leveling it and resetting it, and they just couldn't get this thing to work properly. And he was like totally pissed off.
Yeah. What was he going to make?
Video.
What's his?
I think he's making some sort of custom blocks.
Okay.
Engine blocks and heads and stuff.
Gotta have repeatability.
Yeah. So then it turns out that they sold it as a 5-axis unit, but then they told him, well, it really works as a 3-axis and then a 2-axis. So he goes, well, I was thinking about putting the material in, and it comes out and is ready to roll. Now I got to put it in, do what I got to do.
Yeah, you got to
pull it
switch
out,
processes.
do something else, put it back in. So it's not making money, you know.
Yeah.
He had it ripped. He had it ripped out. They actually pulled it out, and he had it shipped to a friend of his nearby, and he's going to set it up in his shop and see if he can get it to work. And this guy's paying $23,000 a month for a machine that has yet to produce one part.
Wow.
That's about as great as our government. Back in the day, in the printing press for the money, there was a German machine that everybody had problems with, and of course we got it, took it. They were actually in the money world. It's called a web note. And but the way it ran, it was just one big conveyor belt. And instead of taking sheets of paper, it was just one big thing that would run through. And it was like, I don't know, 20 feet long, top and bottom. And they would have problems with it getting off. And so, they burned more paper or burnt more money than they could actually print to put out, and they messed with that for years because they kept saying, oh, we could fix it, and of course I don't have one. In the safety deposit box I have some web notes, but if you ever find a web note, they're worth some pretty big bucks.
How would you know it was a web note?
Well, the easiest way to tell. Down in this lower corner down here, is this right? Let me make sure I got right. Down in this lower corner is a plate number.
Uh-huh.
And on a web note, it's up here.
Oh.
So, and it was only, we're talking like 1985 to 88. So trying to find one out in the wild now is pretty hard. But you do come across them, especially when, you got dancers.
I wonder how many butt cracks that's been stuffed in.
Right.
I don't know, but
I'm gonna have to go open the PVC pipes in the backyard and start leafing through the stash.
Maybe next week I'll have one out and I can talk about the web notes.
Nice.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I always enjoy learning stuff about currency.
Yeah. The new. Have you seen the new? You've seen the new quarters, right?
No, not yet.
They've redesigned the quarter, and the head's facing the head's facing the wrong way now.
Oh wow!
The opposite way.
Oh,
here's a new quarter.
Right, quarter. Right,
the head's facing. It's a different portrait, right? Well, they actually have a bad casting in George's mouth. and those are going for pretty big bucks right now. I
Interesting.
found one the other day. They're about $75.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
So
So since the Democrats are running things, they wanted the head to point to the left.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
and
All right.
and then because of COVID on the quarters, because of COVID, for the first time in, I can't remember, I want to say 100 years, but I know that's not right. But they opened up the West Point Mint
Oh.
to print out quarters. So, where they have the P and the D for Denver and P, if you find a W is West Point, and that is 1/100th of a production made. So they're very, very limited on those are going for about $25 if you find
Wow.
one.
Wow.
The most educated tool man you're ever going to meet. Right?
So
Unbelievable.
He can tell you how to make a ham and cheese at 12 o'clock at night, too.
I know I ran out of
Unbelievable.
ham and cheese, and I don't know what I'm actually. I don't even. Damn it! I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, when I sent you the picture of the Entenmann's crumb cake and the coffee, this is who I was sharing it with last week. We were chowing out on the crumb cake.
Hey, Ray.
Today I had
that number I called. Is
football.
that your cell phone number or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I can send you text messages.
Yes.
All right. I'll send you some cool pictures.
Okay.
I got a 62 Impala in here on air ride and
Nice.
LS swapped and a whole bunch of stuff.
Boy, where's Justin? That's right up. That's up his alley.
Yeah, he dipped out already. I was talking to him on the YouTube chat.
I can't believe the stuff they build up. I'd love to see that shop one of these days.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
He needs to do a shop tour.
Yeah. Yeah. So you were saying, John, you had what did you have today?
I had a foot long boar's head roast beef and Swiss,
Nice.
mayo, salt and pepper, lettuce, tomato, onion
That's how to do it.
on Publix 7-grain bread.
Okay, so you had the healthy part. At least
No,
it was healthy.
It's
With
a
the grain.
big old hero loaf, and it's got like every kind of seed you could think of it on the outside.
All right.
It's super unbelievable. Great.
There's a
great
sub
sandwich.
shop around here called DeBellas, and they have a type of bread called the everything bread, and it's like an everything bagel. So it's got
Nice.
roasted dried garlic on it. It's got sesame seeds. It's got all kinds of stuff. It's
That's
really
nice.
good.
Add a little flavor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, Ray, did you see the article about a Leva down in Little Italy maybe closing?
No, I did not.
It's on the corner of Mulberry and Grand.
Yeah, sure.
Big cheese place and all the Italian meats, the whole 9 yards. It's the oldest cheese store in the country.
Wow.
It was opened up in the 18 something. Before my great grandfather opened up the pizzeria, they were already there.
Wow.
And COVID really screwed them up, and they're about $1 million behind on rent.
Wow.
And nobody's coming in, and businesses closed down, and Little Italy's not the way it was. And they're
Well, as
struggling.
you know,
It was on the news on Long Island. My sister sent me a link.
I didn't see it. I mean, as you know, Little Italy now is like 2 square blocks.
Yeah, no,
There's
it's
like
all
nothing left.
Chinatown. Chinatown spread into Little Italy.
Who took it over?
Not my Asians, the other
No,
Asians.
it's not my Asians. The other-
So where does your ancestry hail from, Jeremy?
Hong Kong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Barb went to Hong Kong. She said it was the most beautiful city she's ever been.
Yeah.
It's
She
very
loved it.
industrial. It's very like New York City.
Yeah,
So-
so that's what she was amazed at the skyscrapers and the
Yeah.
way people. It's a culture. It's a different culture, and she says, but there's a huge amount of lessons America can learn from how organized they are in Hong Kong.
Oh, they have to be.
And she
They
said
have like 11 times.
it was
the population
exciting
density of
and
any of our cities.
scary when they shove everybody into the subway cars.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
She said it was the most amazing thing. But they get them in. Those security guys, the cops are out there. They push you in and they shut those doors.
Can't be claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Nope.
It was
So,
unreal.
so I have a quick opinion question for you, Jeremy.
Mhm.
As someone who has links to or ties to the Hong Kong area, how do you feel about how their bid for independence, right, from China, kind of just evaporated out of the news when the pandemic started happening?
It's amazing because I was talking to my parents about it too.
Yeah.
And I was mentioning, I'm like, you notice how once COVID hit, that became the spread, and then the protests and everything that's happening in Hong Kong, poof, gone.
Right.
Like,
Doesn't fit
that's
the
not
narrative.
anymore.
Yeah.
But there is still a lot going on over there.
Yeah.
And you just don't hear about it anymore because that's not the big news anymore.
No.
Right.
So that's
I have acquaintances that live in Shanghai.
Mhm.
And so I hear things that go on in Shanghai, but nothing really about what goes on in Hong Kong. Because I know for a while there, people were getting arrested in the streets and stuff, and they would like look around for anybody like recording on a camera, and they would shout at them like, "I will not kill myself," and stuff like that. And sure enough, weeks later, oh, they committed suicide while in custody.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there was a lot of that going on over there during that. Now, I heard that it has subsided a lot, so it's not as bad over there. So it's actually kind of open. So my parents want to go back and visit, but they're holding off due to COVID right now.
Right.
But other than that, it has slowed down a lot over there now. So it's not that bad. But man, once COVID hit, you didn't hear anything about Hong Kong anymore.
Right. Yeah. It just like stopped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like the rest of our world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only time you hear anything about it is when they want to take your focus off of whatever they're trying to get through or pass.
Of course. Yeah.
These days, watching organized news channels is like watching a stage magician. It's all sleight of hand and distractions.
It's like, look over here.
Yeah, look what happened with all the protests. See what's going on. And the Black Lives Matter. I mean, that just overtook everything. And then it was like COVID came, so that put that away. And what happened to all of that? I mean, those people just didn't stop. They're nesting somewhere.
Then it's like every other 2-3 weeks is another variant.
Yeah.
And cases are on the rise, hospitalizations on the rise.
You see now the Supreme Court wants to erect a fence. I bet that was Pelosi's idea. Do it like a house. We want to put a fence.
Here's how you know that this whole thing is a plot, because out of nowhere they announced that somebody released this.
They leaked
paper.
Right.
They leaked this paper, right? And within hours, there were hundreds and hundreds of protesters with signs protesting.
Right.
It's like, really?
Yeah.
How'd that happen? Unless you planned this ahead of time.
Right. They go to the sign store and like they were waiting for them like on the rack.
And then I said, with that leak, I said, well, it's obviously the new judge, the new liberal judge that Biden had put in, and Facebook deleted it on me.
Yeah, of course.
You should have posted it on Twitter.
Right. Elon's platform.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other thing too. If they're not bitching about Elon, like they turned into a complete scapegoat.
Oh yeah,
I can't believe it. This is terrible. It's like great.
Did you see Department of Homeland Security just opened a new division? I forget what it's called, but it's essentially
Ministry of Truth.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the censor.
Get out your SS armbands because you're gonna need them.
Right. Speaking of World War II and how like the news, everything's so fast paced today, but it fascinates me as a student of life. Right, I love to learn how there are still things that are either not known entirely or just haven't been released for knowledge. So like. A good example of that is before America got involved in World War II, there was a stack of documents delivered to the embassy in Norway, the British embassy, and it's commonly called the Oslo Report. to this day, no one knows who inside Germany turned traitor and dropped this off, but it was a whole bunch of like inside information on the weapons development programs that Germany was running, all their black projects and stuff. There was information in there about proximity fuses and guided missiles and all kinds of crazy stuff that hadn't been deployed to the battlefield yet. And actually, some of the stuff was so far-fetched that they just kind of discredited it at first.
Yeah,
But,
and then what happened after World War II? We dragged them all out of Germany, and they made our space program.
Right.
Exactly.
Werner von Braun.
The V2 rocket and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But it just blows my mind that to this day we still don't know who dropped it off.
You know, but I'll tell you something. You learn things from going backwards. My dad had been in the military through World War II and later, and he was a machinist mate. He ended up becoming a chief petty officer, but he was a mechanic at heart, pretty much from the beginning. I found a binder of his that he was in this program in 1940. What year was it? It was before we deployed it. It was a whole jet engine program, and it was this whole school binder of all the jet technology years before we had jet engines. I mean, the Germans came, that would have turned the tide. The Germans actually had it before us, the V2, but we had it too. I have proof of it. Like we had it. We probably couldn't perfect it yet, but
yeah. So that was interesting. One of the things that made the Allies look at this Oslo report again after months later was some aerial surveillance photos of a airport in Germany, and they noticed weird black streaks on the not the runway, but the paddock where the planes park, and they couldn't figure it out. And actually an American liaison was kind of, looking in on it, and they said, oh, well, we're actually playing around with a new type of airplane engine called a jet turbine, and it leaves streaks like this on the ground.
Yeah.
And that's when they went back and they brought some more credibility to the Oslo report because it talked about jet engines.
Right.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff. But speaking of interesting military hardware, I did not realize I went and toured the Battleship New Jersey while I was out there.
Yeah.
And they have a machine room on the battleship with massive lathes and mills and all kinds of stuff. There's like a 36-inch throw, 9-foot long lathe in one of the rooms.
That's huge.
It's insane. And I was talking to the tour guide, and he said, well, yeah, if you're forward deployed and you need to make a new bearing race for something, you gotta make it.
You have to be able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. You can't wait 2 months for the supply chain to get it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Makes me wonder if the modern ships have machine rooms like that.
They must.
I'm not sure.
It would be CAD. It would be all, like, 3-5 axis.
Yeah.
CAD machines.
It makes me wonder if, in these aircraft carriers, you go down in there and there's a whole machinist shop.
Yeah. With
CNC lathes and stuff.
Speaking of that, when I was on the, what's the ship that's in South Carolina? The Yorktown.
Yeah.
World War II battleship. That was the one that rose from the dead. The Japanese thought they sunk it, and we dry docked and brought it back.
They sunk it 2 different times.
Yes, and it came back, and they thought they were seeing a ghost ship. But anyway, totally different perspective. But looking at the kitchen in that ship and the bakery, like where they would bake the good. Holy shit, man!
That's not even a super carrier.
No, I know that was.
The modern super carriers, they have like another 1,500 crew members over what the Yorktown would have had.
Yeah, that was like a 6-deck ship, and me and my naivete, not knowing, not being that old, I was on the deck and I didn't realize these things were wood, like a wood deck, and now it made sense. All the movies I saw where they'd crash in and it would burn. I was wondering, how is that ship burning? Because it was a wood deck.
Yep,
that was the technology. They didn't have.
When we were out in San Diego, out on the Midway, same thing. That was phenomenal.
Yeah,
and the stuff, like I said, all that stuff. And my mom used to. She would edit the nuclear subs manuals and so forth. And I can only imagine the stuff that she read.
Yeah.
You know, it seemed pretty interesting.
Can you imagine being like off duty and like, on a sleep cycle on that ship, and then they start deploying the guns, those freaking giant cannons.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure there's no sleeping on that ship.
Right. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was pretty interesting. I was out on the Reagan also, USS Reagan.
Nice.
So I had a buddy that was deployed on that.
Amazing technology,
Yeah. And the scary part of it, some of that stuff is still, 80-year-old technology. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like, it's that modern or whatever. I mean, that technology is still however old,
I used to know, and I don't remember the classes of those ships. They all were classified by different names. I forget what they were.
What ships?
They're just any of the battleships and the destroyers and the flat tops, especially the then we got into the nuclear stuff. That was there was Essex class, and I kind of
so in the nuclear powered aircraft carriers, there's really only been 3 distinct classes. The first was the Enterprise, which had 8 nuclear reactors on it, and during her sea trials, she actually caved her own bow in, doing a top speed run. And to this day, you can't find any sailors off the Enterprise who will actually say how fast she would go. But she was a 1 ship only class. It was their first experiment in a large ship being powered by nuclear energy. And then we came out with the Nimitz class shortly after that.
Right.
And the Nimitz class has been predominant all through the Cold War, end of the Cold War, all the way up till just recently we started building a new class of ship called the Gerald R. Ford class. So for aircraft carriers, there's only been the 3 different varieties.
Okay.
And then there was a couple different classes of nuclear powered cruisers back in the 60s, the late 50s, early 60s. But then it became too cost intensive to maintain them. Their crews were so much larger than a regular conventionally powered ship. It was crazy. So since the late 80s, the only nuclear powered ships have been the aircraft carriers because of their size and their the speed that they need to be able to develop, and submarines.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a military hardware nerd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm hitting the road because my back is screaming.
Still, huh? You haven't had any resolution with that, huh?
I got to go to the doctor on Monday. I went today to a chiropractor.
Your mic's not picking it up though.
Because I was having
right.
Yeah. I was having problems with my hip, was killing me. So I'm like, my back's out of alignment too.
Yeah.
So he fixed me up with that, but he pulled my X-ray records, and there's not a lot of space at the bottom.
Yeah, that's typical
compared to everything above.
You don't sit on your wallet.
You got a problem. Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
That's
what happens to me, John. My hip will go out. I have one leg that's like a 1/4 inch shorter than the other. I've had doctors have me on a table, square my hips, and measure me and say, You must have had a broken leg. I'm like, no, I never broke a leg. Well, you had a broken hip. No, I said, I think I know if I had a broken hip in my life.
Yeah.
Well, your leg is short. I know it's shorter. I said, I was born that way. It's just, nothing I can do. So the more I'm on it, my hip will naturally, shift to make up for it, and then
Johnny,
my back goes
find
out.
a little Asian girl to walk on your back and take care of
Well, that's what I got Jeremy about that. We're gonna see if we can get something happening later. I don't know.
I don't weigh 90 pounds.
No, not you. No, not you. You gotta have a cousin or something.
Hey, you don't have a younger sister, do you?
Yeah, you got a younger
right around
sister.
33 years old.
Yeah.
That's what you need, Johnny, to take care of all your problems.
You're right. There's a lot to be said for that. You're right.
Or you need to find a big Russian woman. When I went into the physical therapist, actually, she wasn't that big of a Russian, but she was a Russian doctor. And I walked in and she goes, oh, I love you big guys. I love to watch you scream. And I was like, man, what did I walk into? She goes, come on over here and lay on the table. And I said, this is that table like from Russia from Love with the pool. He goes, well,
Right.
kind of. And I was like, oh,
And then she
man.
put on the rubber gloves.
Yeah, I was like, oh. So
Oh man.
she was funny because she told me, she goes, you might be able to fake everybody, but I know when you're fixed. That's what she said. She said, you can walk around and act like you're hurt, but I know when you're fixed. So she said, you can't fool me. So
Well, there you go,
she
John.
was funny.
There you go.
That's
Well,
it.
I don't know. We'll see what the doc says. Hopefully, I don't need any kind of crazy operation or something.
Yeah, I hope not.
That's not good.
Yeah.
The weird part is it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
All it takes is one wrong turn or one wrong stance.
The only thing I'm thinking it could have been is hoisting up that big giant steel 9-inch center section I went and bought.
Oh.
I should have bought the aluminum one.
Well, yeah, right. That could do it, sure.
For the extra money, I should have bought the aluminum one. I did not know that this steel one was going to be as heavy as it is.
Yeah.
With a posi unit, with a 350 gear. It's got to weigh like 80 pounds.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, it's like a 35, 40-pound difference between the aluminum section and the steel one.
I've always used aluminum because it's always been hot rods, race cars, and everything. And this car here, I'm getting away from that.
I can save $150.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like,
what's with the guitar back there?
That's my daughter's what do you call it? Forget
Guitar.
the name.
Ibanez?
No. It's a it's a high-end acoustic electric.
It's a single cutaway off
Takamine, I think. Maybe Takamine.
Who?
Takamine, I think.
Oh, I don't know that name.
Oh, I don't know.
Why is that in your garage?
I don't know. My wife put it out there.
Oh.
Along with her Stratocaster.
Oh, nice.
What does it say? I see an amp sitting there.
Yeah, I see the amp. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that's a little Fender Champ.
Little pig nose.
Loud.
Oh,
that thing is so
Zappa.
loud. Yeah, Fender Champ, man. That thing is loud. I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, I tell you what,
she's got a Strat with I got a custom pick guard. There's a company in Hop Hog makes custom pick guards.
Nice.
Yeah. So I got her a pink mirrored custom pick guard.
Okay.
I changed the pickups on it. I put a double humbucker at the back.
Nice.
And I put some like overly wound lead in middle. I hot rodded that thing, and I called my buddy Joe, who played guitar in the band. I wish. He played guitar in a band, and I asked him questions about rewiring, modifying the switch wiring and stuff, and phasing.
Right.
So it's a screamer, but she doesn't like to play lead.
She can play rhythm.
Yeah, exactly.
Tune it down, play rhythm. Did she have a jam with you when you had the kit set up?
Yes, yeah. And she said as soon as I make room in a garage, she wants to start jamming again.
Okay.
Nice.
So
good.
Yeah.
Putting the band back together, man.
Putting the band back together, exactly.
We're on a mission from God.
Right.
Yep. Well, I'm still. I got to get my shit together. I got these projects got to get done, but I still want to rewrap the drums.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like black, and I was thinking about doing that deal where I would match the black paint job on the Firebird, so black with silver and the candy stripes.
Yeah.
You know,
you can have just a ton of hardware laying around.
I know, but the hardware all needs to be repolished and everything because it's just not as nice as it was when it came out of the box years ago.
Yeah,
it's getting pitted. It's getting kind of crappy, you know.
Yeah.
So
speaking of the Blues
that's
Brothers,
a whole rebuild.
Speaking of the Blues Brothers, I always wanted to make a replica of the cop car.
Oh yeah.
make the Bluesmobile.
Sure.
Big old loud horn on top.
There was one at a stereo store down here by me back in the late 80s. The guy had it parked in the front.
Was it the original one?
I'm not sure. It sure
Okay.
did look. It looked pretty damn original to me.
There's the original is just north of Chicago in a little car museum up there.
Okay.
I went up there last year and got a car for my buddy. The son of the family that owns this car museum, he had a 05 GTO that my buddy was looking at. So we went up, looked at it, test drove it, and he decided to buy it. But while we were there, we got a behind the scenes tour of all the museum cars and stuff. And the original Bluesmobile is there.
Nice.
One from the movie. So
That's cool.
Yeah, one of the DeLoreans is there. The Mr. Fusion DeLorean, or one of them anyway, that was used in the movies was there. A whole bunch of stuff. I'll have to go back and look at all my pictures. But
I saw it on Facebook. Somebody posted a partial photo of somebody built a Pro Mod Ecto 1.
Oh wow.
Oh, that would be cool.
That's cool.
It's that Cadillac, ambulance deal, but it's got
there we go.
big. It's got a big blower motor sticking out of the hood.
Diecast. Brian has it.
And then here's this one was from Blues Brothers 2000.
I only saw that movie. Yeah, I only saw that movie once.
And I think I have one with the one with the horn, the megaphone on it.
Yeah, loudspeaker.
I've been going through all my stuff and trying to clean some out.
Yeah.
So, but that when you said the Blues Brothers, I did come across. This one is because this one's the Chrysler. I think the one in the 2000 was I think it was a LTD
or a Fury.
Yeah, it was a Ford.
Yeah.
Got cop tires, cop brakes, cop shocks. Yeah, fix the lighter.
Fixed the lighter as he threw it when he threw it out.
Yeah.
So, but I've been.
John, what do you think about that wacko drum set with the?
Yeah, that was weird.
I've never seen any of that stuff in my life.
Nah.
I got
Dude was
past
a good
me,
drummer.
Yeah, I watch his stuff occasionally. He is pretty good. He can do a good groove.
Yeah.
You know,
He got him
big
to
guy.
sound real good.
It did sound pretty damn good. I know.
But a lot of these, I don't know, these guys, they know how to mic stuff.
Yeah.
It's all about the
They
mic.
do like XY miking where they put the mics.
Yeah.
there's a lot
And
of
like
good
I learned some of that from my drum teacher when I took up lessons again here. You
Right.
know, and they put compressors and limiters on the drums. And
Oh
make
yeah,
them
the modern
sound
microphone
good.
technology is incredible. Like I've got this this Blue Yeti microphone
I got one of those.
that I'm talking. Yep.
Yeah.
I've got the black edition or whatever. It's got like 4 different modes on it, and I've got it on the directional right now, and I can literally snap my fingers behind the microphone and it doesn't pick it up.
That's what mine's on directional. That's why I have the speakers behind it because I don't use the headphones.
Right.
I have a radio on in here too that you don't hear. So it's like,
Yeah.
this mic is like talking about bang for the buck, man.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's
You can do
incredible.
Cartoid, you could do true stereo if you're gonna do like 2 singers on either side.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
All right, guys, I'm out.
All right, John.
All right,
talk to you
Johnny,
soon.
take care.
Good luck on Monday.
Catch you later.
All right. Yeah.
So I think this whole show, the only dream cars we talked about were Jeremy's.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, somebody wrote in down here. They still wanted their 49 Merc.
Oh, yeah,
Dennis.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
That was a while ago. I think Dennis is probably in bed now.
But Mercs, I mean, there's so much of a variety where Mercs are concerned of, I mean, the classic style. And there's really not much else you could really do to them. It's got to be a classic style. It's got to be the, chopped, leaded, shaved antennas, what else are you going to do?
The funny part about
like
you say about the Merc is that when you tell somebody, like a 50 Merc or a 49 Merc or whatever, that image comes through so hard that when you see one that isn't done, you're like, what the hell is that? Because,
Right.
that's one of those cars that just has that, that have been, I don't want to say labeled that way, but when it's a flash card, like I said, if I held up a flash card of a bone stock 50 Merc, some people, well, what the hell's that?
Same thing with a 1950 Ford.
Yeah.
I mean, they were so modified that the original looks even. Take just a Model T or a Model A, show someone a stock one of them, they're like, what? This tall roof, this square, what the hell's that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I always laugh about that, just because the image that we've burnt in, or you think when you see one of those, and of course when you see a stock one, you're like, what the hell's that, or whatever.
It's like seeing a 63 Impala that's not a lowrider. Like, what?
Right.
Right.
Why is there air over those tires?
I really liked the 49 Merc that was in the Iron Man movie that Tony Stark drove.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a sharp car.
Yeah, I mean, they've been done by everybody, so
Yeah.
everybody's had their turn with those cars. Yeah.
Well, I've never had one. So.
No, I haven't either. I haven't either. But I mean, I'm talking about like the big builders, the big, like the custom shops.
Yeah, Coddington and Foose and
Well, even like we had Barris on in the studio a number of times, and he talked about it, back in the day, and he made his bones on cars like that, and
yeah.
But the funny thing was, he was telling us how he used, like the first one he built, he did a custom grill. I forget what it was made of. He took like every other row out, but then he wanted to put the ornamentation in, and he took the knobs off his mother's cabinets and just screwed them in on the grill. It was like cabinet knobs, but it gave it such a look that nobody ever saw before.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a factory original 49 Mercury Coupe, and you're right. It doesn't even ring a bell in your mind.
No,
right.
No.
It's got the visor on it, the big old
right.
Yeah.
See, but then again, if you go the other way, put the visor on, put the white walls on, put a swamp cooler on it, now you're in like Chicano lowrider from like the 60s and 70s. So because they like the stock cars, they're not going for the a lot of the crazy stuff. They're going with the stock body cars, 52 Chevys, 52 to 54 Chevys.
Right.
They're leaving them alone with the big roof and all.
Oh. 1950 Mercury Monarch with square headlights.
Oh, wow.
No.
We didn't have square headlights again till 75.
Yeah. This is not great.
No, they weren't all hits, that's for sure.
There's
a lot of misses.
It's a different computer. I can't bring it over.
I thought I could go back.
So Brian, I thought I saw a notification from Matco, which of course now I can't go in and check because they don't know who I am anymore. But I thought I saw something about the drill bits, the step drill bits.
The hyper steps
communicated.
Hyper step, yeah. Was there a special on those?
No, not that I know of. I double checked on you, Ray, and you're still in my system, so you should.
Fucking Matco.
Yeah, well, don't even get me started.
That's on the blog.
The only thing that we had that was new was the and I showed them like last week or whatever, was the mechanics length.
Right. Okay.
The Cobalt small ones or whatever.
Yeah.
Those are handy.
Yeah, these are really nice.
Now, when they want me to sign in, it says phone number or email, and then they have both of them because they send me email notifications by email, and they send me stuff on my phone, so they got my phone number. So either one should work.
Right. Yeah, because it was funny. I think when we were talking about where I said I hadn't seen you, but I went and looked, and you're on my list, or you're.
I'm not on theirs. I'm signing in now again, and nope, error. The credentials or password are invalid. Every time. So I want to I gotta find. I don't know. I gotta just spend some time, and I'm gonna try and find somebody to write to and say, "Hey, what are you guys doing?"
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm supposed to. I know. I don't know if I'll see the guy, but we have a new. Well, there is a new IT guy. That's supposed because I got a phone call from my my district rep wanting to know if he want that they want to do a ride along and if I was available for a ride along.
Right. Well, they do that every now and again, right? Every few months.
Yeah, but this new IT guy, they always, when you get hired or when they hire you, they want you to go out and live the life for a day,
What's he got to do with living a life? Well, I guess with something like this, if people can't sign in,
Yeah.
you're gonna tell them, hey, listen, dude, you're gonna make me a QR code because my customers can do it, but you can't.
I know, dude.
I made him a QR code for his. Yeah. Tell him, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, you should mention that to him. I mean, he should hear that real world stuff. That's what he needs to know.
That's probably the ride along.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, I'm just starting to really get a little comfortable with the new platform.
Right.
And I'm really hoping that I can start cranking up the connection. But if you're having a problem, like I said, I don't know if you should reset your, I don't know if they have a reset for password or whatever.
I could look at it and see. I mean, but the funny thing is, nothing changed. It was working. It was fine. I stayed logged in, and then just one day, boom, you got to relog in. Okay, so go relog in again.
Now, supposedly, on my end, and so of course, this was the whole thing about building this platform or building the app. So maybe I'll use you as a guinea pig to see because I have a handful of people on, but maybe I'll send out I should be able to send out a special to everybody and see if you actually get it. That's what I should see on your end, because if not, then I don't know. Like I said, of course, when I have an issue and I call in and finally get somebody, the first word out of their mouth is, "I'll just reboot it."
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the answer. It's like,
have you tried turning it off and turning it back on?
Yeah, I said, look, dude, I've done it like 3 times. I mean, there's something wrong,
Dude,
I
cannot tell you. When I used to do level 1 IT troubleshooting and stuff like that. Man, that is number one. It is the number one fixer.
Yeah.
Like, no, I haven't tried turning it off. Okay, we'll do that. Call me back if it has a problem. And I would have to say literally 7 or 8 out of 10 calls fixed by that.
Yeah. Yeah, it drives me crazy. It's like I still have a glitch with my credit card machine. And it's like, well, turn it off, reboot it, and I'm like, dude, I've done this like 4 times. Something's not right, Well, do your computer too, and reset your router and reset your, and I'm like, dude, I can't reset everything.
You have an independent credit card machine?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, when I had my truck, we had the option to run an independent machine if we wanted, but they included right in the point of sale software. There was an option to run credit cards through that, and the rates, the fees, the rate, was so competitive that I didn't even bother running my own machine.
Yeah, no, this machine comes with it. It's for the chip reader. See, I have
They were just getting into that when I was
right. I have in my software. And it's kind of funky because they talk about tokens and, because they're the information, to protect the information, it's a token of some sort. I don't quite understand it all. But so if my credit card machine goes down, I still have the capabilities in the computer to run a credit card.
Right.
I still have that capability.
The problem that I have a problem is if it's a new credit card or a new customer.
Oh, you
I
haven't
need
generated
that
your
to
security
feed-
token.
Right, because I need to
Validate
have
it.
that token of security, of safety, or whatever.
Yep.
With the chip. And that's the part that drives me crazy because, like I said, if it's down and not working right, and of course it never fails, I get somebody that's never done business with, or they get a new card, I can't put it in without the machine. And that's the part that drives me crazy, because it's like reboot that, take this off, do that, plug that in, wait, or my favorite, you're going too fast, slow down. Like, I can't even move that fast in the first place, and I'm sure that the little guys that run around in this computer are a whole hell of a lot faster than me, and why do I have to wait until it just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to
Jeremy?
take John's place. I don't mean to
IT
bitch.
pro right here. This is
We just read the book. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
hold on, you're going too fast. I gotta get to that page.
yeah.
Yeah. I love that when you're going too fast. Don't push that button. I'm like, how can I be going too fast? I mean,
yeah.
All right, gentlemen. I think I'm going to call it a night.
All right, Tyler.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Jeremy.
Thank you
Yep.
too.
You have a good one. See you guys
too.
next time.
All right. Yeah. So
Oh yeah.
it's crazy stuff for sure.
Yeah. I see you back in position A again this week, not position B.
Yeah, no, well, it's moved over. Like I said, I had it's a little dark on this. It's darker on this side. I'm trying to get my lights straightened out.
I see light behind you though, behind the side of those.
Oh yeah, well,
boxes,
all
there's
that stuff. I mean, like I said, there's a lot. I mean, there's just a thin wall there before. It used to be. I mean, I've really cleaned a lot out. I'm hoping that I can really try to get this place back into shape. And
you and me both.
It's crazy. I
thought
just saying.
Oh no!
Huh?
I thought you were on the truck.
Oh no! My truck is a mess, but not as messy as this.
Yeah, you would have known it because you would have seen all the tools. It's obvious when he's on the truck.
Yeah, no.
And he'll be fixing stuff. He'll be fixing ratchets and vices and.
Actually, I've got two of them that I really need to kind of do. I don't know. Actually, I'm waiting for parts. This is like so incredible with this. There's no rhyme or reason on some of this stuff. It was funny. I had a guy, he ordered some sockets, and they told us that basically a lot of our wrenches and a lot of our sockets, it's going to be June.
Wow, really?
I mean, so I just told the guy, I said, it might be June. And he's like, whatever. Whenever you get them in, blah, blah, blah.
Is that for replacement stuff or for new new
Well,
sets?
this was kind of both. I mean,
Wow.
It's like, it's just no rhyme or reason. It was funny. So we had, they were, I don't have any in here. I didn't bring any in, but they were, twist sockets for stripped out bolts or nuts.
Yeah. I saw that on. I think Maco Michael did something on that with Clay.
Yeah, they
Looks
had
like looks like the gear wrench.
This was from 4 millimeters to 8, and they're in quarter 0.25 increments.
Wow.
On the sockets, so that that you can do. They're like
from 4 to 8, but I mean, I could see needing some bigger ones too.
Well, these, like I said, these are for smaller sockets, and they are and then they have a set that goes from 8 to 12 in the same increments every 25 quarter of an inch or whatever. And so they had a set of these sockets, and they're they're usually pretty good sellers. So I told everybody, dude, when they come in, you get the sale price. Well, 3 days later, I got 10 sets that came in, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Right.
well, I walk into the shop. I said, here's your socket. What do you mean? I didn't expect my socket, so, there's just, like I said, no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
And you order something. And the thing that drives me crazy is I can look, and if they have it in the warehouse, you can order it. And for whatever reason, it's, not discontinued, but on back order,
Right.
And it's like I said, none of it makes sense. It drives me crazy. So I don't know.
Yeah, Jeremy was replacing the battery on my daughter's her MacBook last weekend, and he had the battery is glued in.
Yeah.
So he had these little plastic pry tools, and I said, I should have bought those little pry bars. I said, but no, they'd be sitting in the box. I still wouldn't have them because they'd be sitting in Brian's box.
Yeah. You're right. They probably would be.
I heard about that box.
Yeah, I need to send that box off. Actually, I got a scanner that I got to ship off, and I got one of the other guys needed something.
I was going to look into getting Eddie Lyle back on the show. He hasn't been on in a while.
Yeah.
See what they're up to.
Yeah, they got in June. Is it June? I think in June there's a big trade show down in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's from one of our I guess competitor warehouses or independent warehouses.
Yeah.
They have a big expo show coming up in June, I think.
So how do they do that? Is that a dealer show or is it?
It's a dealer. Yeah, it's for independent dealer, or like I said, or anybody that I have an account with them. I don't do a lot with them anymore. In general, they kind of hosed me one time. And, the biggest problem that I have with them, or had with that in general, is when you have a problem, they kind of push you off to the side. And at least I know it might take me a little bit of time to resolve the issue with if I have something with Mako, but, I have a little bit more support than, telling me, hey, go F yourself.
Yeah.
And, I had it was actually kind of funny. I used to spend, I don't know, 80 to 100,000 with this other company outside of Mako. And I had a guy that needed a cam tool setup for some Chrysler. It was a OTC. It was a big set, fairly expensive because it did all the, V6 and V8, everything new or wise. And it was kind of funny because I paid for overnight. And of course I keep telling people, paying overnight doesn't mean overnight, because if I call in at 4:00 in the afternoon and tell them I want overnight, that ain't going to get processed until the next day.
Yeah.
Because it's already past its time of shipping, and so forth. And then on top of that, it's got to go through a warehouse and they got to do it. And then, so, you're really looking at still 2.5 days or whatever. This guy wanted overnight. I told him it was ridiculous. Of course, it showed up 2 days later, and he was all bent out of shape and told me he didn't want it. He didn't want it. So I went by and picked it up, took it back up to the warehouse, and I was waiting for a credit, for it, and so I get this dirty email saying that I'm not getting any credit. I can't do this under warranty because the tool was abused and this and that and all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, it was never open. It's still sealed.
Right. I never used it. Yeah.
And they were like, well, we got this thing here and it's been all beat up and pieces are missing out of the kit. And I was like, it's never been open. And they were like, well, this is what we got. And so the next day I drove up to the warehouse. It's up here. And they used to have one in Elkridge here in Maryland. Drove up there and I went in and saw my rep and I was like, dude, I got this email and I showed him and he goes, how can that be? Because it hasn't gone to Georgia yet. It's right here. It's right here on the floor. And there's my box with my number on it. You know, my invoice and my credit read up. He goes, it's sitting right here. So we took a picture. I sent it to that lady, and she goes, well, I don't know how you did that because this is the one you got. And I was like,
how did you do that?
I said, well, I said, you know, you can do what you're going to do, but, you know, unfortunately, you know, I don't need this kind of aggravation.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of money with you guys, and you're not going to work with me.
Uh-huh.
So it was kind of funny because it was about, I don't know, 3-4 weeks later, my rep called me up and he's like, dude, you need anything? And I was like, nah, not really. And he's like, well, you know, and I was like, dude, you know I can make a little extra money and the profit's there and I can buy it from you guys. But after, you know, like I said, I spent all that money and you're going to treat me that way.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
need
not right.
it. I don't need it.
No.
And now, like I said, it's just I actually not even a dire emergency, you know, but like I said, if I need something, I'll call them. And but other than that, I tell most people I can get it. It's going to be a couple days. If you have a super problem, you know, like I said, it's not worth the aggravation.
Right.
And all that. So.
Hey, something else worked pretty good. Remember I had Tom Cotter on the show about a month ago? He was talking about giving his pro tips for finding cars.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And one of them was, and it's in his books, was talk to either the mailman or the UPS guy or the bread guy or the milkman.
Yeah.
They see what everybody has. So my mailman is this Haitian dude who loves the FJ. He's all over. He's like, he loves foreign cars and Toyotas and the FJ. Like in his country, he says this thing is like the big. It's too bad it's not a stick shift, man. I'm like, yeah, I know. So anyway, like I had the Pontiac out one day and he's looking at it. He's like, wow, what is this car? I'm like, it's a new experimental model out of GM. Oh, really? I'm like, no, dude, it's 50 years old. What are you talking? It's a 65 Pontiac, for Christ's sake. He knows nothing about American cars or muscle cars. So I was outside last Friday. I was washing the FJ and he came by. I said, hey, come here. I don't even know his name. I said, I got a project for you. He's like, what? I said, you gotta do a car hunter thing for me. He's like, what? I said, down the road, a couple blocks down on Lindenmere, over by Kirkwood. I said, there's a car sitting in the driveway that I want to know about. Oh, what kind of car? I said, it's a white Corvette with a black convertible top. I said, it's like a C4, a late C4, maybe a late 90s. I said, it's been there for years. It's got a flat tire now. I want to know what the deal is. I want to know, you know. He goes, yeah, I know the car. He goes, it's been there for a long time. I'm like, exactly. I said, I want to know, why has it been parked for so long?
Uh-huh.
You know, is it a mechanical problem? Did the motor blow? The tranny go? You know what? I said, and is it for sale? I said, I need a retirement project. So he sees me today. He yells at the door. I come out. I'm like, what's up? He goes, yeah, he talked to the father. It ends up, the house where the car is, it's a girl who owns it. And so he talked to her father, who owns a house down the block the other way. He's got a bunch of classic cars, old caddies, old trucks. I said, yeah, I know the house. I played darts with the son years ago. I don't really know the family, but I know who we're talking about. He says, yeah, he talked to the father, and the father said it's his daughter's car. He taught her to drive stick, and she just stopped driving it. He goes, there was nothing wrong with it. She just stopped driving it, a bunch of years ago. So I said, wow, maybe it was like she was uncomfortable. I said, is she a big girl? He goes, no, she's not. I said, because that's not an easy car to get in and out of. Maybe it was
Right.
uncomfortable. He goes, no. He goes, the father said that she was just talking about maybe selling it and getting rid of it because she's not going to use it. I was like, bingo. I said, you got to find out. Look at those stickers. Tell me what year it is. He says, yeah, I noticed like the mirrors are a little wonky and the interior. I said, yeah, I know it's going to need some work. He said he thinks it's a 2003, but I don't think it's a C5. I don't.
Huh.
Anyway, I said, talk to her. I said, see how much she'll give me to take it away out of her driveway. And I'll remove it right away. So now at least I know that it was just parked. They apparently had no so I said, get the story. I said, he goes, yeah, I didn't want to go knock on the door and bother. I said, no, don't bother. I said, if you see her, ask her. I said, tell her one of her neighbors is looking, and put in a good word for me. I said, we'll tow it with the mail truck. So,
yeah.
So we got another step closer to another project car.
That's it. Well, but you're right though. The stuff that, like I said, that we see or drive, on the route or whatever. And like I said, it's funny. I used to have on my route, I had a guy that had like a 65 Chevelle with a 396, SS.
Oh, nice.
And it used to be red, but it was like burnt red because it sat in a driveway.
Yeah.
For like 15 years. And it was the weirdest thing because he had that and like a 70 Super Beetle. You know what I'm saying? It was like two ends of the spectrum.
Right.
And these cars sat there forever and ever and ever. It was like, what's going on? And then like I said, one day there was a big old dumpster there and they were gutting the house out and everything. So, like I said, you just see all kinds of stuff driving by.
Yeah, when you see bookends like that, you got to wonder,
Yeah. Well, the funny part is that's why I'm on a main drag or a main road, and that's why I hate every time that when my garage is open,
right,
and I'm moving stuff in and out, because I can't tell you how many people say, I got to know what's going on in your garage.
That's a 93. Yeah, well, that's why, I'm lucky. I got like an 85-foot driveway and my garage is in the back.
Yeah.
And, and if I have the gate closed, you got to look over that. So,
when I'm cutting, like I said, when I'm cutting the grass, like I said, if you, especially now, because I'm almost done with the deck, where they're almost done with the deck, but I've got the Scout and the Audi, out side by side. And of course, like last Sunday when I was cutting the grass in the gate, sure enough, somebody drove and I saw the brake lights and I was like, damn it. And sure enough, they turned around and they were like, oh, what's that they said, is that a Bronco back there? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? And they said, what's that old thing? I said, nothing to see here. Keep moving along, And they were like, no, I saw it. And I was like, it's an International Scout.
Yeah.
What? I say, I usually tell them it's an International Harvester.
Yeah.
And that's why they,
right.
It's not normal. When you say a Scout, they say, oh, like that Bronco thing. I'm like, yeah.
Bronco thing.
Yeah. Well, they are close.
Yeah.
They are close.
So I'm like, damn it, I should have closed the gate because as soon as, like I said, there used to be a guy from the Navy. He was some admiral dude that I was afraid that he'd catch the wife and she'd probably tell him to come pick the car up. But he saw my Quattro back there.
Yeah.
And he was like, he stopped a couple of times. And I told him, I said, look, buddy, it ain't for sale. And he goes, everything is for sale.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, unless you're buying the wife and kids, it ain't for sale.
Tell him you throw in a hat with some scrambled eggs on it. Maybe.
Yeah. So,
and speaking of that, it's really funny because back in the 80s, I only have one left. I had Snap-on had a hat. I had a black one and a white one, and they both had gold like scrambled egg braids on it. Yeah, I don't know why they came out with that.
Yeah.
I have the white one down here somewhere. The black one I think just disintegrated. But I see them come up on eBay for like $40 every now and again. I'm like, $40 for that hat? Like, are you kidding me? I said I should sell the damn thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I guess it was a special edition. I didn't even.
Yeah, I don't know. I only have a few. I had one that was I think they were given out because I went to a NASCAR race and they were like a checkered flag. The bill was a checkered flag.
Yeah.
And then one year, of course, this was back when the neon colors, it was neon. It had Snap-on Racing and it was neon pink or something like that.
No, that had to be in the 80s.
Yeah, I know I got that from, that was a Dover thing. I went because they had Ernie Elliott, Bill Elliott's brother that was building all the race motors.
Right.
He was in the tent and everything. And that's why I had to go, being Elliott's my driver. So
now let's see if this will work. Where did you go? Let's see if I can find. Yeah, I know I want to do that. That's not the screen I want to share.
I have to do window. Oh, you're not.
No, that's the wrong screen. You know what? Sometimes if you do, I know what. Damn, keep falling off the end here. Go over there. Let's see if this will work. Okay. All right. There we go. What's with that shirt, Brian?
I can't see because of that's new. That's the new one. I just got those in. That's the power.
Oh.
Yeah. That's I've got some of them sitting in your box.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
Know him so well.
I think on the back side it has fist. It was like power. What is it said on the front? It was power something.
This is Matco Tools on the front with the the lightning bolt kind of things.
Yeah, and I think on the back it has like his you have your distributor name and number and something.
Okay, I didn't see the back. I just caught it on one of Clay's videos. I'm like, hey, that's a pretty cool shirt. And like he doesn't even talk about it. I'm like,
yeah, those like the one that I sent with the hot rod, the service trust, that was this year's shirt.
My wife was wearing that one tonight.
Yeah. That one, and the year before was the one with the blower.
Right.
You had that and this, and then that one. That one's I think that was the newest one. I just got them in. It was last week. Actually, last week I just got them in.
Yeah. And
I was going to try to figure out what I was going to do for the shirt, giveaway or whatever. To try to figure. It's been so hard to plan anything because, like I said, I could say, well, buy one of these and get a T-shirt, but I need to have X amount of these things, and I don't know what's coming. So it's been very difficult.
It's so funny too because I watch, whenever he does a video with Michael. I mean, the guy he's got a good heart and he's in it for the right reason, but he's so droll and just hard to listen to. There's like no enthusiasm. Like when his wife does a video, she's got, some cadence in her voice and she's talking about this and that and making jokes. He is just so monotone all the time. It's like, oh man, come on. It's like, get some personality, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Well, it's some guys.
Yeah, no, listen, it's, I know, I understand.
Yeah. Some guys just don't like it or have a hard time.
Yeah, it's just personality. Some people are very, out there and other people aren't.
Yeah.
So that's all there is to it.
So
what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
It just drives me crazy because, like I said, it's just really. I hope we can all survive through all this stuff.
They keep throwing more and more crap at us. It's like when's it gonna stop?
Yeah.
It's gotta just stop.
And then they gotta, like you said, that about your gas tax thing, about over a certain amount. They just got to put this metric system of formulas that you can't even figure it out if it's not even if they're screwing you. You just don't even know how to. You just can't figure it out to see if it's even whatever right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? You just. Right. Some people need to know exactly, need to know how you get that number. You just can't say that's just because.
I mean, we know it's wrong. Look at you with the gas. I mean, $2 overnight. I mean, that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was insane. And actually, like I said, I was just like today. I was at a quarter of a tank, and I went ahead and stopped and filled up because like I said, you don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. Or usually my luck is I paid the big bucks, and the next day it dropped to $3. But
how much gas do you go through in a week on average?
It's I fill up every 3 days.
Wow.
Whoa. And it's
20, how many gallon tank do you have?
20. It's anywhere between 20 and 25 gallons.
Yeah. Right.
So I need to I need to put new batteries in the back. The problem is I try to turn the truck on and off and by halfway through the day because it's not like I drive it, so it doesn't charge up.
Right.
So by middle of the day, I don't know if it's going to start or not.
Got to keep a couple of those no-cos charged up so you can jump yourself.
Well, the funny part is my luck is I'll run in and grab somebody's snap-on battery charger and hook it up to the side of the truck to jumpstart it, and somebody will take the picture that they had, So then I'll get the mean phone call from corporate about how I,
Well, just keep like a work jacket on, so you just throw it on top of it, throw it over to something or a blanket.
Yeah. So like I said, usually I start out, but I need it's got 4 of those golf cart batteries in the back.
Yeah.
And in my old tool truck, I converted it over to 3 12 volts, and I might do it. You don't have the longevity of with it off, with the golf cart batteries.
Put some solar panels on the roof.
Hey, there's a guy out. There's a guy out in Arizona that's been working on it, and
like Tyler, yeah.
They have kits, but the problem is you got to be stationary to put them out.
Yeah,
you can't have them. Something about that truck flexes. It's actually, it's scary. I've actually left my phone. I velcroed it to the back wall, and hit the record. And drove down the road and came back and watched it. And the stuff that moves around in there and flies around. It's like, holy crap.
It's
amazing how much stuff moves around.
Right.
and that's a lot of
And,
weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see the roof. I mean, like I said, you can see the roof flexing, and about every, I don't know, 2 months or whatever, I'm always tightening all the screws up back there because the shit falls out.
Yeah. Hey, on another note, Jeremy and I were talking the other day about floor jacks, and I was telling him how all these guys now, it just seems like everybody in the world is buying the Harbor Freight floor jacks, those Daytonas.
Yep.
Like I sent Brian a picture one day. There's a tire shop over here in Freeport, and there was a line of them. There had to be like 15 of them. Like, who were they made by? Because we had a couple at the shop, and I used them. It was a pretty good jack. I mean, I didn't find anything really wrong with it. It seemed okay.
I don't know who makes them, but like I said, I see a lot of them in the shops.
Yeah,
and
probably just because of the price.
Yeah, it's because I've said, hey, I see you got a floor jack. He goes, look, dude, for the $89 or whatever, if I get a year out of it, I'm way ahead.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, I can't fault anybody for that.
Yeah.
And I just tell them, make sure they put something underneath of it. It's bad enough. I see even I don't even care who makes the jack. I mean, so many people just jack up a car and climb underneath of it.
Right.
And not even putting the tire they took off of it at least under it to any kind of safety. It's just,
I'm looking at now the scissor lift type, but it's the split ones that you can position. I forget the name. I printed it out. I have it upstairs, not down here.
Oh, air jack.
It's
electric, right?
It's electric. Yeah, you just throw under the chassis and you can get the thing up like 36 inches or whatever.
Yeah,
I was looking at them too. The scissor jack and everything.
It's about $1,600.
Yeah.
To get under it quick at home.
Yeah, I've got one of those. That's what the Mustang's sitting on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's God, I can't remember what it was.
Well, this one was not. No, what the hell is it called? Something jack.
I think it's quick jack.
Quick jack. Yeah.
Quick jack.
Yeah, mine's like the one you'll see in a shop. The one with the little bigger platform that you roll up underneath.
It's one piece.
It's one piece. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The one I'm looking at is two separate ramps.
Yeah.
And you can hang them on the wall. You put them under the car, and then of course they're connected. So you could use one if you wanted to. Something up at front. But that's nice because you could do variable width cars and gives you a little more latitude.
Yeah, I looked at those too, and actually I was at one of our tool shows one year, and I usually buy something for the house, for the shop, and I said that year that I was going to buy one of those lifts because the only other problem I have is I'm underneath the living room or underneath part of the house, so my roof is only. I don't have a very tall roof in the garage. And I always, like I said, I have a 2-post lift that came out of another shop that, the guy said if I hauled it away, I could have it.
That's great.
And the only problem is I don't have any place. I always kept saying, or I threatened that I was going to put a concrete pad out back and stick it in the backyard. But
right.
That doesn't go over too well in this area.
I know. Yeah.
So
because you need 12 feet inside.
So then I threatened that I was going to cut a hole in the ceiling and raise the car up into the living room.
Yeah. That's great.
And that didn't go over really well either.
No.
So I got one of those other jack, like I said, those scissor jack things.
Yeah.
And it actually is really nice. I'm actually, I've laid like,
it's got a pretty good wide ramp area. And then I've laid I have a 3/4 sheet of marine plywood, and I put that on top of that, and I can raise that up. And like I said, it's a hell of a table. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah.
you know, it's a hell of a table. And I've done, you know, work on the lawnmower or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's been really good
Right.
that way. So
yeah, that's good too.
And then I went ahead and I finally moved, put the Mustang back on it, and hopefully, if I can just finish the rest of this stuff. And like I said, I've been cleaning out. I've gone through so much die cast, dude. Well, I mean, you know, I've got my Hot Wheels from when I was a kid, so you know, and on and off for the last 50 years of collecting. That's a lot. It's a lot of die cast. I mean, it's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
And it's crazy at the same time when you're looking at it, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
It was funny the other day. I was at Target looking, and there was a little kid there, and I'm going through the rack, you know, and he kind of looks over at me, and I look down at him. I said, "Don't worry, kid. You'll be here one day too."
Yeah.
You know? And his mom walked around the corner, and she goes, "You haven't picked out a car yet," or something like that, you know. And I just kind of said, "It's a pretty bad habit. You might not want us to get him started on that." You know?
Yeah. Well, he'll
He
end up
was.
like me.
He was. I don't know how old he was, but he was a young guy, a little kid. He was kind of funny.
It's actually hard for me to find my two cars. A diecast model, I cannot find any STIs or like my model Supras.
Yeah, well, I'll find you. They have on the STIs, yes, and you said like an 87, right?
87, yes.
Yeah.
The Target top version, yeah. I couldn't find it. I was trying to find it for my car, and I was like, checked some toy stores. I even wanted to look at like the hobby shops with the models and stuff. I was like, nothing. It's all like classic muscle cars in there. I was like, wow, not even a Supra or like any of like the Japanese cars.
Well, the Japanese stuff right now is really, really taking off. And actually, I was really, really surprised how much I started getting, how many cars I started getting, because I just never thought that I would buy that much. And you know, because I usually I have tons and tons of gasser, you know, hot rods, gassers, race cars. You know, that was my main focus. And then, like I said, especially Hot Wheels has really gotten into, they do a lot of Japanese stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. And this is pretty cool. And next thing you know, I'm like, I got quite a bit of, especially like Nissan racing stuff. I can't think of the
Sylvia.
Yeah, well, actually, that's well, this is the Nissan Skyliner. This one here, car.
Yeah,
it has a car in the trailer. This was the on the back that shows the car. And I originally bought it because of the Fairlane. I mean, the gasser.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, that's pretty cool. And next thing you know, and anything golf.
The golf calls, yeah.
Yeah, the golf stuff is always hot. And of course, you know, my whole thing was, yeah, I'll get it and I'll trade with somebody, or you find somebody, and you know, every once in a while you run across somebody, and you can, you know, work up some good trades or whatever, and deal. And other than me, I used to, you know, because I worked on the Porsches and Audis, you know, I had a lot of And this, like this one's this is a 1999 first edition.
Mm.
And on this this particular one on the 911 thing, they had 4 variants and the different color wings, and the black's the hardest one to find.
Oh.
Wow.
See? So they had this was one. The most common one was the one with the yellow wing.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So, and then they had one with a red wing, and then they had a silver or a white car. But again, like I said, going through this stuff, I was like, man.
Yeah.
And I can't think of that die cast company. And they do a lot of Japanese stuff. They're a little bit of a higher end die cast.
No, Ertl they did a lot of the American stuff, but there is another one that did a lot of the foreign stuff. What the hell was their name?
Yeah.
Can't remember. I'll have to. It'll come to me about 3 a.m. and I'll text Ray, and Ray will say, "What the hell's going on?"
No,
or you'd be like. You'd be like everybody that knows me, and they say, just put your phone on sleep because Brian will text you at the weirdest hours.
Yeah, I'll see it in the morning because I shut my phone off at night, so
Yeah.
I'll see it when I wake up.
So, but yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, and just going through trying to clean out all that stuff. So
what are you doing with the cars? What do you mean cleaning them out? What do you?
Well, see, I've been working really hard, and I've been putting them in my cases.
Nice.
Like this is all Mustangs. These are all Mustangs.
Uh-huh.
And so I've been going through cleaning, and this one's like my Tri-5s.
Right.
And then this one would be on the gassers.
Nice. Where are you getting those cases from?
These are from Joanne.
Oh, Joanne,
fabric.
yeah.
These are thimble holders.
Thimble holders.
Yeah. No, not thimble. What are they called? The thread that goes on the sewing machine. You know how
the spools of thread.
Yeah.
And where do you get them? You get them online, or is it from a local place?
I go into the store. So I go into Joann's. It's a fabric store.
Right, Joe. Okay, you know what? Yeah. When you said Joanne, I was thinking like Johan, which was the model company.
Yeah, no.
But Joann's, that's where I got my daughter's cricket machine.
Yeah, right. The cricket. Yeah, so it's funny when they see a big burly guy walk in, and I say, "Where's those cases?" And walk out with like 10 of them or whatever. Yeah. I just started. Like this one's these are Hondas.
Oh yes.
Right.
And see, I just started putting in. Yeah.
S2000. Yep.
And this is a Civic, and like I said, I just started putting them all in.
Nice.
And so then this is Fords, random Fords 32s.
Yeah.
And then this one will be like all my GT40s.
Right. That's really good because it makes it much easier for the family to throw all of that stuff right in the dumpster instead of separately. Yeah, it's a lot easier.
And eventually, hopefully, when I get the back of the garage straightened, I'll have to send you a picture of my pool room because I have cases all the way around the walls, and they're all filled with. Now
I saw something. Was it a video you did? I caught something. You were in there with your daughter.
Yeah, that was in my pool room. That was where my pool table is, and that was all my NASCAR stuff.
Right.
I've got 124 scales and 164 scale, but I have acrylic cases on all 3 walls,
right,
top to bottom, filled with cars. So I want to do down here. I'll do the back wall for the Hot And so, like I said, I've been going through, and then one what I'll do is, like, I had these in. These are doubles that I have, and these are the ones, like, two of the variants.
Yeah.
And like I said, I have them in the case, in my Porsche case, but I'll list them on eBay and sell them, or find somebody. I hope I can find somebody locally and trade with.
Yeah.
But if not, because the only problem I have with eBay now, I mean, I used to sell a lot on eBay back in the day. Now there's just way too many people with their hands in your pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, I sold a couple cars a while back ago, you know, and I don't mean to sound this way. Yeah, I only had $10 invested in it, and I sold them for like 120.
Nice.
But by the time everybody got their fees and got all the fee for shipping, not fee, I mean the fee for listing, the fee for selling, the PayPal part, I walked away with $78.
Wow.
Wow.
So there was a lot of money that everybody else made, that got out of that,
Yeah.
And of course now they want me to pay taxes on what I sold it for. So it's not even like, it's bad enough I gave up $30 or more, and then they want to say that I made $120. I made, which I really didn't, because I had to pay everybody.
That's the dilemma I'm going through, because a lot of this junk that you can't see here, my plan was to sell it, and the question is now how to sell it. And like I think I said last week, Amazon's been sending me emails to open an Amazon store.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking, okay, that's great because of the exposure, but there's got to be taxes and stuff involved.
Yeah.
It's got to be a whole. I mean, the swap meets are the way to go because it's cash over the table, but then you got to haul the stuff and you got to haul it back, and it's
so that's where I was thinking also, because I've done it twice now, and like when I thin out my t-shirts and jackets and sweatshirts, we'll drag them out in the front yard there, and I'll have sell. And I really don't, of course I'm like, man, if I could just get the word out, I could probably do better. I mean, I don't do that bad. I mean, last time I think it was, $800-900 worth of material. I mean, stuff that I sold, and I still have tons of it.
Yeah.
The problem that I have is, I'll have like, I usually get stuck with, 2 or 3 smalls and, half a dozen of, 5X, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, and of course I'm stuck with these on sizes, and that's, like I said, I'll put them out, and, you get some big guys.
Yeah, well, that's why you got to get one of your daughters involved and have her take the shirts then and cut them and make pillows out of them.
Yeah.
And you sell them as pillows.
Yeah. That's so, but I've thought about that with my die cast. There's usually every once in a while there's a flea market down the street, and if I get a table for $25, that's what the last time was. And
that's good.
Of course, like you said, you got to haul it all out there, but
that's pretty good because my daughter's been doing craft sales, and some of these tables she's spending $75 on a table.
Yeah. That's a lot. Yeah, well, like I said, that was a while back. Who knows what it is today.
It's kind of funny because my wife asked the last one she did. She's like, what if people don't have cash? She got a credit card reader for her phone, so you just swipe it.
Yep.
On the phone, like nice.
Yeah, that's what I use when I'm on my Harbor Freight hunt.
Yeah, on the run, the Central run. I tell you, Brian, people love that story. Everybody loves. People have come up to me and talked about that. They rave about it. How they just love it. They love hearing that story. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's pretty. Actually, I got another story to tell you about that. It was actually kind of funny. I stopped off at 7-Eleven for my cup of coffee on the ride home, and so I'm in there and I'm fixing the coffee and blah, blah, blah. And I look off to the side. There was a guy there from 3 years ago.
Wow.
3 years ago. And he turned a corner and saw me and kind of, stepped. And I didn't say a word to him. So, of course, I go and he goes up to stand in line and I'm standing behind him, and I can see him. He's got I'm not saying a word.
Right.
Sitting there just.
And he's hoping you don't remember him.
Yeah. And so he's like, shaking a little bit and going on. And I looked over and he looked up and I said, "So, how you doing, bud?" And he's like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Not much."
See you.
And he's like, "So, he goes, "I think I have a bill with you." Yeah, you got a bill with me, buddy.
Yeah.
He goes, "You got your truck here?" And I said, "Yep, it's right around the corner." So we walked out to the truck and brought him up, and he goes, "I don't think it's a lot." And I was like, "Well, that's $287. So what are we going to do today?"
Right.
So pulled out the old credit card and so.
Did he clear the bill?
No, he didn't clear it, but
okay.
Now that I have his new number and his new card number, and so
you hit him weekly?
Updated his information. So I know I probably get about 3 or 4 more payments out of it, and it'll change. But
okay,
at least I got his new cell phone number.
Right,
so.
right. And he's still local, I guess. He's still around. Yeah.
And I got his new. I mean, I know what he's driving, and before he had some beat up Honda thing, and now he was driving some Ford Edge or whatever. So I mean, I got his new tag number and everything else. So
that's the thing. When you spend your time dodging people, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And then eventually, you're going to get caught up, and then it's like, it's easy just to pay the bill and just be done with it.
But that was kind of funny because when I saw the look on his face was, I could see him, but I didn't pay. I didn't, it was like I said, I didn't make a big deal. And seeing him sweat behind when I was standing behind him, that was,
right.
He's like, oh, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, yeah, what's up, buddy?
You gotta try you gotta try and film some of those. That'd be classic. Put that on a YouTube channel. That'd be phenomenal.
I'm like, yeah.
11 might actually have the video.
Oh yeah,
so you can ask
well, I've thought about those the sunglass, the glasses with the video thing or whatever,
right.
because like I said, half the stuff, if I told you, you'd never believe, some of that stuff is just it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I love, like I said, I love doing that or sneaking up on them.
Right.
And the best one ever, or the best line ever, "Oh, you're still in business?" That's what I like. That's the one I like. You're still in business? And I'm like, I'm still in business.
Not thanks to guys like you who are trying to put me out of business.
Oh, I guess I have to pay that, right? And I said, I guess you still have to pay that, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's fun.
I don't know. It's crazy. Who do you got going on the show this week, Ray?
Kind of dropped the ball. It's Mother's Day.
Yeah, I know.
We had always done the Mother's Day special, and I had so much going on with all these retirement meetings and plans. I kind of never got around to putting that together. So we're not doing a Mother's Day special. And then, the reason Chris started doing that years ago, even before me, which was he only did the show 2 years before me, was he could never get a guest on Mother's Day. And now I probably could get a couple. I was looking to get that guy Ryan Brutt back on, the auto archaeologist.
Oh yeah,
and also Eddie Lyle. I want to get him back in. But yeah, we'll just freeform it this week again. It's Mother's Day, so we'll just give it a break.
Yeah,
and then we'll Whatever. Yeah, I think it's
Whatever.
put together the show. There's actually a lot that goes into it. I save the clips every week. So I have all the audio files, but then I should have started this like last month. I got to listen to all of them
And
and
piece
then
it all
try and
together.
decide which ones. I mean, I've already edited them. I do it weekly, so it's easier. But then I decide, okay, which ones aren't I? I'm gonna delete, and which ones I'm gonna keep. And then you got to figure out the time, so you have enough time because you're talking between it. Then I got to sit there and actually write write a script, because we take turns reading, introducing each bit.
Uh-huh.
So there's a lot that goes into it, and I didn't do it this year.
Oh,
So
slacker.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
You start talking about retirement, and you're already slacking off there.
I tell you, it's actually been a lot of work. And I was telling Jeremy, I was talking this morning. I spoke with my HR rep, the time and leave girl, and the union rep, and I asked them all the same question about taking time and how I have to stage my last day. And every one of them gave me a different version of I don't know.
Right.
And I said, well, listen, if the three you don't know, like, who does know?
Right.
Like, everybody just sloughed it off on somebody else. I said, this is ridiculous. Like, somebody should actually have a hard answer for this.
Right.
So you kind of
there's no play manual. There's no book. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, the time and leave girl said, well, yeah, you should check the contract because we have a contract. And I said, I have. And the contract is vague.
Yeah.
That kind of says it's just a vagary. It's not a hard answer. So,
hey, the episode of Emergencies, the one where you had that flamed
the El Camino?
El Camino hanging off the edge right now, the one with no motor in it.
Right, no motor.
They just had the shot. I just looked up and saw it. That was funny. I was like, I just saw this picture.
You're right. That car could never balance like that. That's funny. Funny stuff.
I tell you.
All right. Well, we should wrap it up.
Yeah.
You watch some TV. So now you got the what do you call it? You got the onus now because John isn't here and Chris is never here. What do we say, Brian, before we wrap the show?
Yeah, don't follow us home unless you have a ham sandwich. That's what you say.
Right. So for Lewis Lee and Chassis John, who's out early, I hope he's back. I hope he doesn't have to go for surgery. I hope he's
I tell you, man,
he can recover. And
yeah.
I'm sure I think, I'm sure they're gonna tell him if he lost weight, it would take some
pressure off
of that. That's a big thing. But hey, as we get older, that stuff starts degenerating. And it's, I know a lot of guys who aren't big and have the same problem. So
yeah.
What was in the private chat over here? Oh, that was something else. I don't know what that was. So
yeah, no, it's like I said, I've been that doctor told me about, I don't know, 6-7 years ago that I'd be on a table and he'd be cutting me open, and I told him there was no way in the world. And I know there's days if I'm not standing right or don't have my toes pointing in the right direction and you do a certain twist, dude, the pain is like unbelievable.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of relearning.
Right.
So, oh well. It was nice meeting you, Ray. You stay out of trouble.
Yep,
and
I will.
We gotta get ready to run credit cards
for all the chiropractors in the world. And Lewis Lee, Chassis John, Medical Man Brian, Ray, and Jeremy signing off. We'll see you on Sunday, and we'll be here again next week.
You got it. You guys be safe.
All right,
You
Brian.
too. Thanks.
That's